Hello, and thank you for joining us for session 5 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can visit happyjacks.org/Starscape, and to find all of the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can visit happyjacks.org. It's not like I've ever said that before or anything. It's fine. My name is Kimi. She, her. I am the GM of this game and also the writer of the system that we're using, which is very exciting. Yay! All right, let's start with this.
That's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I use she, they pronouns, and I am here to play Nolvath, who uses they, them pronoun. A very alien. I'm playing the unfamiliar playbook, which is a lot of fun because I get to do weird stuff.
Because you never do that in any other game.
No, I don't get to do that ever.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns, and I'm here to play Road, who uses who is the civilian playbook, and he uses he, him pronouns, and has never been a problem a day in his life.
Wonderful. Looking to see, look forward to
angel.
seeing how that plays out for the rest of us too. Hi everybody, I'm Jay. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Lieutenant Jonas P. Hurley, also he, him, human hotshot, and just riding high from getting to fly his baby again last session.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't see it, watch it. It was awesome.
And hi, everybody. I'm CADave, playing Lawrence Benson. Famously, nobody. Don't look too closely. I promise he's not hungry enough to eat you. Because he got chips and salsa 2 games ago. So he's pretty good.
And
It fits that description.
Yeah.
and you know there's more of it too. That's the thing. That you do know.
It will be fresh when he gets there.
There's at
still.
least another.
And warmed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ooh.
All right, so this is a
Just waiting on the pass.
This is a very, very, very close to finished beta version of this game. The quick start is actually coming out in a couple of weeks. We're aiming for July 1st for the quick start to be available. And then July 9th will be our Kickstarter launch date. So very exciting. That's 2024 if you're from the future. So please know there might be some slight tweaks that happen as we play this campaign. So we are still kind of making small tweaks and just rewording things and stuff as we go. And yeah. All right, so last time we had a little bit of a hint at what happened last time. So we are just about to go down onto the planet of Lastu. Last time you had entered the system of that Lastu is in, you'd seen, done some flying. There's a bunch of asteroids. There's some like old mining operations that are here, but that are no longer in operation. And you're kind of like cruising through the system. Seemed like an easy day until your wonderful clients' parents, employees showed up in their fancy fighters and were like, "Hey, we want those kids back." What did you tell them?
What kids?
What kids? We told them we have cows. That's what we told them.
Exactly. So you quickly loaded the kids on. They're young adults. They're actually adults, but they're very naive youths. Onto road shuttle and sent them with no power off among the asteroids to hide. You luckily sprayed a bunch of poop.
Fertilizer.
You fertilized the ship.
Yeah, like out into space to help like hide their movements.
Camouflage.
Camouflage, which was the name of the last episode afterwards, yes. Which also someone pointed out we really missed an opportunity with cow mouflage.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be too on the nose.
I mean, I feel like we already went
The
there.
big, cute
It was
nose.
all over the place. It's not just on the nose.
Right.
So this fertilizer also helped hide the shuttle from prying eyes.
I'm hearing like
Me too.
playback
Same.
from something. Like audio.
Oh,
It's from that.
this monitor probably.
No, it's from that direction.
Tony, I'm hearing it from there.
Not me.
Oh, it's these.
No, the headphones.
Oh, the headphones are plugged in.
Oh, yeah, just turn them down. Yeah, or just unplug them.
Where's
There we go.
Wait, where? Oh, this thing here?
You have one over there somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, it fell
Oh,
down as well.
Ah.
Aha.
There we go. All right.
No,
That solves the
unplugged.
problem.
Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. Okay.
Job done.
All right, they're not hearing it on stream anyway. It's all good. Okay, so after tricking them and sending them back to dear old dad, the bazillionaire, you decided you were ready to take these wonderful young youths and all their Louis Vuitton or future Louis Vuitton, space Vuitton luggage down onto this uninhabited planet where they plan to live. It'll be great.
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
Boarding what Jonas now refers to fondly and lovingly as the shuttle.
Oh no.
Hate that.
Yeah, Rose gonna hate that. I think that's funny.
It's amazing. Okay. Did I forget any important stuff?
We have a crab.
Oh,
We
yes.
did let Tavrock fire the laser.
Yes.
We
Mhm.
did.
Or I did.
So there's a baby
I don't
space
do
crab
labor.
named Tavrock, who's basically a little bit of a large hermit crab who's about this high, like 8 inches high. And he's pretty intelligent. He also wants to touch the buttons and shoot the lasers. He's very excited.
And the control panel reacted in a different way than usual when our crab friend touched it. So.
Yes, it did. It lit up some new things that hadn't lit up before.
Mm-hmm.
Curious.
All right. I think that's all the important information. Yeah. All right. So you are now kind of, you can see Lastu, it's coming up. It's very green and lush, kind of like the normal, like sort of type jungly type planet. Most of it, like the jungle's around the center of the equator, and you can kind of see it kind of tapers off into like a little bit other, but still very lush, very green looking planet from space. And yeah. Just also to recap, remember, your guests do not know about Tavrock. So for the
Correct.
audience at home.
Oh, yeah.
And we did negotiate an extra 2%
Yes.
Yes.
for hazard,
Hazard
pay.
pay.
Yeah.
Since you had to trick there.
So now it's
Yeah.
8%.
Yes.
One for
Mm.
Lawrence's mysterious crime partner.
So 7 for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, your mysterious associates are making their way over.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, their employee. They're sending like their.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
They're
He's
too
got
important.
people for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not gonna fly to a nowhere
Sure.
backwater planet themselves.
I mean, eventually they will.
I mean, probably if it starts making
if it
money.
works out well.
Yes.
Or if it doesn't work out at all, actually, they'll probably still fly out
Yeah,
and there'll be
maybe.
some
Maybe.
questions to answer.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. All right.
All right. So your let's go ahead and do the coming back from the shuttle. So the shuttle, you cleaned it though when you got back.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So everything.
But it was still real gross.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect.
No. And they're
Because that's a job of many days, probably.
yeah, and your clients are not helping with that at all.
No.
But all their
wouldn't
stuff
expect
is
it.
already in the.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
we did say though that the ship robots would probably go and
Yeah.
do a decontamination on it.
So they're probably still working at that.
Sure.
It's gonna take some
gonna
time.
take
There's
a
a lot of like nooks and crannies on there.
Yeah, you can't just take it through the automated wash.
No, and it's like intricate, ridiculous, opulent
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, filigree.
It's an elven spaceship.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a handmade
It's,
steampunk elven spaceship.
Swan motifs.
Yeah.
so many unnecessary
Yeah.
gears.
Exactly. Amazing.
Where are our passengers now? Just out of curiosity, have they returned back to the room, or
Yeah,
they still
they were
at the
probably-
observation deck?
They were
or...
thoroughly grossed out.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're like attending to their own sanitation and like cleaning up, even if they didn't get touched by anything. Just being
Yeah.
near.
Sure.
They're gonna be so
Yeah.
bummed when they learn what phosphorus is.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're cleaning up a bit, freshening up, and then we'll say after they're done with that, they go straight up to the viewing section, the viewing
sure.
section room of the ship where they were at before, and they're just delighted, like squeeing, like there it is, Lastu, look it's all green. blah blah blah.
I imagine
Okay.
that the viewing deck is like right above the bridge.
Yeah, it's the observation deck where we had the
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah,
right?
and so I can hear them because Road is in command, quote unquote. I say extremely loosely. He has no idea how to work almost anything on the bridge. But he's the one that was in there, so he's just like, oh, I guess they're back, but is just kind of on the bridge, like looking at the expanse of space and feeling very powerful and having no idea what to do with any of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That Imperial officer at the front of the
Yes,
observation deck.
with the hand
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
the
just
back.
back.
Yes. Ah, yes, space. I
Athlete
definitely know how to do this.
equivalent.
Engineer, do the thing.
Excellent. Awesome. So yeah, you're just babbling and very excited. And when could we go down? Is anyone in there with them?
I'll say I'll be up there with them.
You don't. I mean, you don't have to. They can be in there by themselves. You probably all kind of hear them.
Yeah.
These are kind of.
No, I think, I mean, after Lawrence and I finished cleaning up the ship and I cooked that, that meal
Well,
of
that's
eggs
right. We
for
went
you.
to have an eat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go check up on him, and I'm going to say, well, now we do have to make sure that we know where we are going to touch down on our shuttle. Excuse me. I'm gonna need to take some preliminary readings, make sure we don't have any weird atmospheric anomalies or anything like that. And yeah, as soon as I see everything is a-okay, I shall give the green light, and we shall find you a good spot to settle down. Unless, I mean, looking at this beautiful, lush world, is there any place in particular you think would be best for your trees?
Somewhere nice. Water's probably important.
They don't know what they're doing.
If there's some sort of open area, that might be helpful as well, so we can put up our accommodations.
All right. Well, I shall do what I can. Just give me a little bit of time, and I'll, turn away, walk down to the bridge, and again start taking readings.
Okay.
Oh, hello. I see you're back.
Yeah, they have no idea where to touch down on this massive world.
I wish I could say I'm shocked that they didn't do any surveying. It's all right. I'll help, I guess.
No, listen, Road. I got this. I mean, how good are you at atmospheric scanners and geographic sensing terrain?
Perhaps not on such a green planet, but I am actually from a prospecting family. I might have a thing or two that I have up my sleeve.
Well. Now that is a surprise to me. Tell you what, why don't you sit yourself down on that terminal over there? Let me give you a few instructions. I'm going to type up a few things onto, another terminal. I'm going to swipe them over to you.
Mm-hmm. He looks at the terminal like, what is this and why is it here? But he does kind of like, he's very tall, so he kind of like folds himself into this chair that I don't think was made for someone his size.
Okay, all right. I'll start, kind of showing you around,
Yeah.
quote unquote, if that is acceptable to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll start kind of, again, analyzing the planet's atmosphere, the climate in various regions, sort of if I can get readings on like any weird radiation levels or chemical compositions of water and soil.
I think as you start to go, you also see that Road actually is very familiar with natural components.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Required for like settlement and life.
Oh, okay.
And so
Awesome.
starts going like, oh, this is actually the humidity of this region, and this is how knows about like temperature fluctuations in the atmosphere. This like exterior kind of falls away when he suddenly is like, no, I actually know things about this. It starts to like talk about the like, oh, and this area we can't settle in because this is actually a flow of air coming from this volcano over here, and like starts really just explaining the map.
Okay.
Without knowing exactly what you're pointing out to him.
Sure, that's awesome. There's a certain point when you kind of like hit a threshold, and I start having to keep up with you. But I just kind of take notes. I just kind of punch in notes as much as I can, and with your help, I imagine we try to triangulate like a good spot to land our passengers. I suppose. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So between the two of you, you're definitely able to do something like that. So what ideally, what is the spot like that you find?
Fairly close to, I would think, like, not a large body of water, just something maybe inland. Something that's got a little easier to wrangle and control.
Okay.
Lowlands.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So
yeah.
the temperature is like somewhat similar to the temperature we experienced when we were on their planet. Just kind of like gauging the atmospheric temperature and the weather patterns and being like, okay, so this is similar to what we experienced on their
Skizo.
planet. Skizo.
Yeah. Maybe some place with like a large body of water and moving water alongside too. So.
But nothing with mega flora that is visible.
Oh yeah,
from space,
yeah,
so that this can be the mega flora of the region.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
What kind of life signs do we detect at the planet?
Like you expected, like there's no like sort of civilization of any type. There are some fairly large animal readings. What type of animals they are, your sensors probably wouldn't like pick up like exactly what types of animals they are. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't figure you have the exact. I mean, do you feel like you have the exact control of the ship to do that yet?
Nope.
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, so you're probably doing
general
life readings.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Okay.
big readings, middle readings, small readings.
Okay.
Life everywhere on this
Yeah.
planet. So just tons and tons of animals and probably insects and a bunch of
Okay.
other stuff. So far, there's no like giant people eating plants.
That we know.
Yeah.
of.
I
Can
think
detect.
any animal larger than like a dog, you see that Road's like, well, that can't be safe.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
is very much so like not used to basically fauna.
As I see you've kind of actually got a handle on this, I'm gonna excuse myself and say, since we're reading so much life here, I think maybe I should ready a few safeguards.
That sounds wonderful.
All right, and I'll step up and out, and I'm going to. There are a few things that I've found on the ship, and some of my own supplies from being of service. That I've stashed by the garage, not quite in the garage, but like in a room adjacent. I'm gonna head over there and I'm gonna start rooting through those things.
Okay.
I'd probably come up to the bridge, but like I arrive washing the hair, like I'm kind of brushing the hair out. Like it's still
Getting
a
ready to
little
put it on your
damp.
wig dryer.
Yeah, but I don't have one, so it's just this is a thing, and I'm just like, meh. And like the makeup goes up to the hairline, like
and then
kind of,
stops.
yeah. Just why waste it? Like you have to buy more if you keep putting it on everywhere. That's wild. We don't make a lot of stops at costuming stores, but I probably get up there and I'm looking around the bridge. Is there any lasting evidence that things are different after our crab friend touch buttons, or has that passed?
No, there's a few more things that it's not like huge light up change, but
Right.
there's definitely a few little lights and stuff that weren't on before that are now on. So if you feel like you would have paid that close attention, you can definitely notice it.
Definitely
Yeah.
would have paid that close attention. Like, why? What is the change? Like, we've been around planets before. Why? Is something wrong with the ship? And I forgot the voice again. Is something wrong with the ship? Terrible.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh.
He says deeply immersed in a console for maybe the first time you've ever seen him deeply immersed in a console.
I think Nolvath has wandered off with Tavrok to see if they can get more things to light up by having Tavrok touch them.
Oh.
I brought you my magic crab!
Okay.
Let's see what else we can activate.
Which hyperpod looks good to you, Tam?
Does this one look like home? Does this one look like home?
Well, I suppose there aren't any alarms. Were there any alarms?
Besides the loud... No, the people approaching were alarming.
But
But-
no, the ship didn't start blaring anything.
There was a loud beep, and I think something got ejected. But other than that, I think we're fine.
Yes, I was there for that.
Oh, so that was purposeful.
I don't know.
All right.
That part was not my doing. Unfortunately, I was not able to avoid it with your ship.
Question for you. Do you think trees grow better in oxygen or in maybe carbon? Just aerosolized carbon.
I would depend on the tree. I don't know anything about these
True.
trees. But if we're going to be landing people soon, do we think that they're going to be able to set up a camp and stay alive for
With
a while?
All of the things they brought, I hope so.
Did they bring any weapons?
Do they look like they brought weapons?
I was under the impression that this planet would have far less already living here.
Yes, that's a lot of...
So it appears.
And animals bite.
Absolutely. How do we know we're not going to land and have a tiny mosquito bite one of these people and have them
What's a
fall over?
mosquito?
Small biting insects. Tiny, very tiny. Irritants.
Hmm.
But for all we know, these people have never been inoculated against any number of galactic diseases that may be lurking.
As you say this, you kind of see Road kind of like shrink into his chair a little. What do you mean inoculated to diseases? I mean, they've existed in the world. I'm sure that they've...
Does it sound like they've traveled?
No.
Right.
But not everyone who hasn't traveled gets sick immediately.
No, that's true. There may be no instances of horrible fevers on this planet. There may be no rotting vegetation that leads to
Suddenly Road is like
anaphylaxis.
5.5 feet tall instead of 6.5 feet tall in his chair. There might not be any of those
Correct. We could be positive.
for diseases.
Yes.
And you see him kind of reach into his like hip pouch that he always has on him. And he just pulls out a little respirator and just straps it on his head.
Well, our ship is safe.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yes. But, I mean, honestly, if you were to have caught something from the ship, we would have known by now.
I'm just being cautious.
Well, all right. It makes you feel better.
Because if we get closer, maybe there are native fevers just lurking in the atmosphere.
I've never read anything about one that can jump from atmosphere to ships in orbit.
I'm just being careful.
What an interesting weapon idea.
Oh no. Oh no. We've done it. Uh-oh.
Planetary defense at a microbiological scale.
Lawrence.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Uh-huh. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, is there anything I should be preparing?
I have no idea.
Oh, very good. I will tell you, if you need sustenance, you should ask our friend. He cooks up mean eggs.
Mean eggs.
Yes. I think that's what he said.
Hmm.
I'll cook up some mean eggs for you. I think that's what he says. I don't get his accent quite right.
I will consider this.
But they were delicious.
That's good.
I've never had cooked eggs.
I'm glad you've experienced mean cooked eggs.
Oh, heavens. That's not offensive, is it? I'm so sorry.
No, I'm more just frightened.
Oh, all right. That I understand. I wasn't trying to be offensive, though. I'm unaware of your species' proclivities for reproduction.
What is mean to you?
Perhaps he meant that they were delicious.
Yes,
Was it an anachronism?
I'm sure it's a very quaint human colloquialism, but
Just the term mean?
for you, what is are you personable according to your people?
Definitely.
Fascinating.
I mean, we're talking. I haven't tried to kill any of you on the ship,
Correct.
so I think that puts me far to the side of friendly for my usual
So
people.
not being ruthless is friendly.
Yes?
Understood.
Or being ruthless with a cause, right? I mean, I would
Sure.
do things to protect the ship and all of you,
Well, that's different.
but that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. You do things to help the people that you are in a company with, that you enjoy their company. And I have found that I enjoy all of your company very much.
And your company is novel and enjoyed.
Well, thank you. I'm trying very hard.
Perhaps once they're gone, try without the wig. Just as a thought, if you're comfortable.
Well, I could do that here on the ship. That'd be fine. I mainly do it to try and stay off the radar when we're observed by others.
Yes, I don't want your people to show what their version of mean is to us.
Yes. I'm certainly glad that your people are strong.
They are strong. I'm not sure that they could withstand that.
They're strong enough to cause a pause.
Hmm.
Or at the very least, you are intertwined enough with the rest of the galaxy.
I would say that's probably more likely. Well, at any rate, I'm going to sit here and push these buttons. And think about mean eggs.
They were delicious.
Delicious and mean.
Well, should I go check on the passengers?
Have we
Are
not? I think they're up there.
Are we ready to disembark with them?
Not quite.
I don't know how far we've moved.
Ah.
I don't know how this works.
That's fine. We're still far enough visually that I don't think we're about to crash into the atmosphere.
He's
So
the
it's fine.
Star Trek equivalent of sitting at a table and just going beep boop beep boop. That's what it looks like. Because at this point he's done the thing that he was sitting down to do, and now he's just sitting there staring at the screen, kind of going like, "I think I understand what I've done."
Would it be wise for us to prepare defenses for them on the planet?
That's what Jonas just went to go do.
Oh, good. Okay.
You might want to help. I don't do that.
I understand.
I do this, and he taps the respirator that he's put on his face that he hasn't removed.
Yes, I'm glad you're still breathing.
You know, it's harder to have gotten that far than you would think.
I understand. I would assume with all of your siblings, it was a tough fight to be able to emerge victorious.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, they were weak.
No, quite the
Oh.
contrary. My siblings were the ones that raised me.
Oh,
I have siblings that are twice, 3 times my age.
so they should be easier to assassinate.
You know, you would think that. I'm not worried about them.
We aren't allowed to leave our creches until we have proved ourselves strong enough.
Oh, I've certainly proved something. I was told to leave.
Oh. Oh, do they send you out to gain experience?
No.
Well, then I'm certainly glad we've found each other out here in space.
I'm very grateful. You, me, a herd of strange cows, a crab,
Yes,
and a ship full of strange trees.
I am concerned about how fast the crab will grow.
Do you know how children work?
I know how my people propagate, but we aren't children for very long.
I haven't met many children. No idea how they work.
I certainly hope that it doesn't become an adult and decide to take back its ship. That would leave us in a lurch out
It's
here
true.
in deep space.
Hmm.
But hopefully Nolvath is making friends with it enough that it won't decide to put us off the vessel as soon as it regains control.
Not worried about that yet.
Just planning.
All right, we're gonna cut
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
in that
I just
moment.
kept rambling.
No, it's great. Yeah. We're gonna cut in that moment to Nolvath with Tevrock.
They have taken Tavrock to the science bay, question mark. We can't read the language, so we don't know what it's labeled. It seems to have equipment that we can kind of use to take science readings and do medical things in here. So they're like kind of measuring like how much Tavrock has grown and like, you know, getting some data on Tavrock species, just observational, but also trying to see if they can activate more of the tools in this room now that Tavrock is here.
So Tavrock has grown like tiny bit,
Okay.
like a millimeter,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually kind of quick for only being a couple days at this point.
Yeah.
Sure.
But Tavrock doesn't seem to understand the language either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't.
No, just born, doesn't
Yeah.
know language.
Mm-mm.
So it's not something that's evidently inherited knowledge. You put them on things and they hit buttons kind of randomly, and they like do the thing and they like put a little claw over one of the buttons and they like flash what they were doing for laser. Laser? Like question mark? Like they're allowed to.
Laser, yes.
And they hit it. It's not a laser. They're not
It's
sure
not
what
a laser.
No, it's not.
Not a laser.
But like some stuff lights up when they touch it a little
Okay.
bit, and they like that. They like
Yeah.
give the colors of the lights. Lights are pretty.
And like some of the stuff they have figured out like
Mhm.
what it is and like how to use it. So I think they would start with that, like to see if there's additional functionality they can unlock.
Okay.
Like I'm sure there's like a medical pod thing that will like fix you.
Yeah.
And like I don't know,
Yeah, for sure.
sciencey things.
Yeah. So in the medical pod, now that you've seen like the larger specimens and stuff in the cryo pods, that like
Mhm.
okay, the layout of things makes a little more sense. Yeah, they're like it seems like when Tavrock touches things, sort of like if you give a kid a remote
Mhm.
and they're like flipping through stuff, like random stuff pops up that has never popped up before.
Yeah.
But it's also not like purposeful or meaningful. It's sort of like, oh, it's opening and unlocking some operating system functions that seem to be responding to maybe it's DNA or something about it.
Mhm.
That, oh, this is what I respond to. But Tavrock doesn't know what it is. And it's just like, look, it changes. It changes. So they keep hitting the different buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're just taking note of like what lights up and then maybe like theorizing potential functions for it to
Yeah.
see if like we can figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because I'm thinking like alongside the rest of the crew that these people don't know what they're doing. We're about to leave them on a planet by themselves. So it might be a good idea to send them down with like some medical supplies.
Yes.
So I think they're trying to like prepare some a package.
Yeah. And there's like this there's a plethora of medical supplies in the med bay here. A lot more it makes a lot more sense now that you're thinking, oh, maybe they're an exoskeleton species. I get it now. Like there's like the bandages and stuff are a little bit weird. Like there's like these hard plate things that you weren't quite sure like what they were necessarily. And now you're like, oh, maybe there's some sort of like adhesive for like an exoskeleton or something like that. So just like there's just all these little gaps that are getting filled in now.
Mm-hmm.
Spackle.
Nice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Healed.
Blood go in.
yes.
Awesome.
And Tavrock loves buttons.
Tavrock loves buttons.
So many
That's
buttons.
great. Very exciting.
Yes. Glowing buttons.
So yeah, we do our best to put together a little like care package of here, please don't die. You're an investment. And then go back to the fridge.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Actually, before you head back to the bridge, you get a communication for me
Mm-hmm.
to meet me at the room by the garage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they'll take the care package and Tavrock
Okay.
and meet you by the garage.
Can I move on to that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was being Tavrock already. I was already there.
Okay, sure. So
This is
when you come
I'm a
in,
crab face.
oh, I love it. When you come in and you find me, again, you find me in a room adjacent to the garage. I've got a box open, and I'm using the lid of another crate to kind of like lay out a series of armaments. And I turn to you and I say, "Oh, Nolvath, hey, thanks for coming. I hope I didn't catch you in a bad time."
No, we were just finishing up our task.
Okay. I gesture towards the array of weaponry, and I say, "Now, Nolvath, I don't know much about you or your people, but are you familiar with these articles on this crate here?"
Some of them, yes.
Okay, all right. I've noticed that you've grown fond of our new passenger here, our new crew member, I'm gonna say. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
I mean, they fired the weapons and everything like that, right?
They very much enjoyed the laser.
Well, that's all right. All
Tavrock's
right.
slowly getting closer to your stash of weapons.
Can I scoop up Tavrock real quick?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna scoop Tavrock up, and I'm just gonna kind of give him a little reassuring pet, somewhere they're okay, you know.
Yeah.
Its little eyes go back for a minute, and then it kind of relaxes, and then
Okay,
Nolvath flashes friend
Okay.
at them.
Okay.
okay. And I just say, not yet, little cat. Not. I'm gonna say, yeah, and I mean that's for good reason. I don't think I expected to ever see you in a position of taking care of anything.
Oh.
Like this, like a child at the very least.
Well, it is customary for our species. We raise the young in community
Of
since they are
course.
artificially grown.
Right. Well, in that case, I don't know how much need you would have found yourself in before to protect something. And in case we go down there and something unpleasant comes out and attacks us, I want to make sure that you are able to defend yourself and little Tavrock here.
Oh yes. The Namilid find it necessary for our survival to defend the hive quite fiercely. On our
Alright.
planet, if you do not, you will die.
It was very fortunate of you. I was not necessarily so lucky when I was young and growing up. Could have used that. I will pass Tavrock over to you, and like make sure that you're holding on to Tavrock nice and well. You know that Tavrock's not gonna jump out and reach for anything. I pull what looks like a rectangle. I unfold it, and it becomes a weapon, like a rifle, essentially. This is a EE 809 energy firing device. I flick the safety off. There's a little like dot that forms on the wall opposite where you are. Just sat using that little dot right there. Give the trigger a squeeze, and you will release a burst of energy that can cause serious damage. I refold it back. I pull out a couple of other things. This is a Weiss Martino 45 ballistic pistol. One shot at a time. This is a submachine gun, an SMG. You fire in short little bursts. I put those down. And then I pull out a small device and I say, this is an NA Hornet palm needle pistol. Squeeze the trigger, and it shall release a stream of flechettes that can cause either mild annoyance or grievous damage.
Oh, grievous damage sounds quite useful.
Ah. And I say, in that case, would you like to have one of these?
Yes.
Okay,
We will
all
take
right.
one of those.
Okay, and I will pass the needler gun to you.
Tavrock does the thing where he's like trying to grab it as he goes.
You're gonna want to watch Tavrock around any of these things.
Oh, yes.
Okay, but I make sure that you've got a good hold on the gun,
Mm-hmm.
and then I start like packing the rest up in the crate. I'm gonna wheel these over to the bridge and go over everything with Rode and Lawrence as well. Make sure we are prepared when we go down there. I've got a couple of proximity sensors as well. I think with that and enough space, I could probably set up some sort of perimeter defense while we are there. At least while we are there. Maybe we'll leave it with our friends, depending on how dangerous it is, I suppose.
If there are any automated defenses, that may be good to leave. They
Copy that.
do not seem like they would handle weapons well.
Yeah. I share a laugh with you with that. Like, like out loud and long, and it takes me a little while to like control it because I keep on picturing what they might look like with, handling any of these things.
Do not seem to have many natural defenses against their environment.
Yeah.
It is quite worrying.
Well, again, with whatever arrangement Lawrence has made, hopefully things will end up all right.
Agreed. We have also prepared some medical supplies for them in anticipation that they may become damaged.
No. Andy. Hopefully, yeah. Now, hopefully they won't need any of this stuff, but between our efforts, I hope that we've at least got some bases covered.
Agreed.
Close up the crate.
We are quite impressed. Humans seem to have an impressive variety of weapons. Far greater than many other species that we know of.
Well, that is both a blessing and a curse. This is but a fraction of 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 the devices that we have created in our long, storied, and sordid history.
I would be interested to learn more of that, if you would share it with us. Not now, of course, we have things to do, but sometime.
I think maybe down on the planet might be a good time to take everybody out for a spin.
Agreed.
All right. And I think we head over, start like.
And they kind of attach the pistol to since they have the camouflage reflex.
Yeah.
Their outfit is made of kind of like transparent mesh. So it's like covered, but it doesn't impede the camouflage reflex.
Cool.
That's
so
really
they
cool.
can like attach things to
Yeah.
it to carry stuff, so they don't have to carry stuff in hands.
Cool.
You know what? I'm gonna give you like a little holster for it, so it's not immediately obvious that you're carrying a little needle pistol.
Nice.
Yeah, that too. If you don't mind carrying it, that probably won't be camouflaged or anything like that. But
No, they'll probably take it off if they feel like they're going to need to camouflage. But like
Okay.
here on the ship, unless they're planning to jump scare somebody, carrying stuff is fine.
okay, all right. Yeah, and off to the bridge we go. I think.
All right, you get to the bridge. Road is still there, I believe, right?
Yes.
Randomly hitting buttons sometimes.
Going, yes, I definitely know how to operate this whole station. Very good at the science side of it, not good at the technology side of it. Wearing a respirator now.
Everything all right here? Did something happen to the environmental controls?
Nope, just being careful.
All right.
The rest of the game.
He's almost put it on like 3 times already. We're only on episode 5.
My hand kind of like goes up to my little chin strap that I wear, like when I fly, and I'm about to engage like at least the lower part of my mask, and then I'm like, nah, it's all right. If I start dying, then I'll put it on. All right, I think Nolvath, by the way, Road here, surprising me certainly. helped us find what seems to be a decent place to land.
Oh, you got us most of the way there. I just know things about atmosphere.
Oh yeah, that's putting it lightly. Let's see. And I think we're all ready. So you've left?
I did, but I think I'll probably come back with a crate of my own.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just it's small, like about this big.
Okay.
You know, just
That's worrying,
Like-
actually,
like
that it's small.
yeah, it's like a shoebox, you know,
Okay. All right.
kind of thing. And I'm probably I probably left the wig behind when I got back to my
On like a
quarters.
chair back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there,
okay.
something back there.
All right. Okay.
Nice.
But
Huh.
I kind of walk in with this, and I've taken some effort to attempt to help with their security situation.
Okay.
Oh.
I hold my tongue when I say. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen you without your wig. Or have I seen you without it before? Like
no,
how?
you weren't there when I showed up in the full
Oh, yeah.
outfit.
Yeah.
You were elsewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
still a little weird because the makeup goes like half the
Yeah.
line, and then it's just pallid gray.
Hashtag cosplay problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you mean I sweat my makeup off everywhere else?
It's your strike.
I kind of like see that, and then I start for a second, and I hold my tongue, and I'll say, well, that's wonderful. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who was preparing something. I kind of like open the crate, start spreading out the array of stuff, and say, I've prepared a few offensive and defensive measures here.
Wonderful.
Let's see, Rode, Lawrence, would any of you like to grab one of these?
Oh, and you just see Rode run a finger. He's got this like thigh holster that he wears.
Yeah.
It's like where his respirator lives. And it looks like he's just got like a pocket and maybe a like longer baton pocket essentially. And he runs his finger up the baton pocket, and as he does, it just produces this like very trim, like very delicate Derringer looking blaster.
That's awesome.
I'm fine, thank you though.
All right, wonderful. You never know what we're gonna find down there.
This might come as a surprise to you. I don't fight.
As long as you can defend yourself, or you got something you can use to defend yourself,
have
hopefully it
2
won't
feet.
come to that.
And very good at knowing when to hide.
Lawrence, what about you?
No, I'm fine. I prefer fighting closer.
Oh,
All right. Okay, all right. I mean, I'll bring the stash down anyway, and
I mean, depending on what we encounter, it may be quite useful, but I myself am more practiced in close range combat.
all right, okay, all right. Well, I think we've got everything we need to touch down on this world.
We would like to take a look at the landing spot if that is amenable.
and Rode suddenly just like, again, suddenly weirdly knowing exactly what to do here. It's just like, oh yeah, we're landing here, and here's the readout for all the atmosphere, and
Since Nolvath has a little bit better grasp of like how the ship functions work since they've been here a lot longer, I think they just like to like get a little bit more detail on the location. I do have a specialty in biology. See if there's anything that we should be wary of.
Okay. So you like do the zoom in thing. You see that they have found what's kind of like a small lake, which then has like kind of it looks like there's like a stream flowing into that, or some sort of, maybe it's like a small river maybe that flows into like this pond / lake and then kind of flows out the other side. There's like a flat area or kind of on both sides of this body of water, which seems like, at least from the air and from readings, to be like a good place that, pretty flat area to at least start, a civilization or put up tents or whatever they're going to do. And then from there, it kind of slowly, like, we'll say that's like the area of like a football field, like 100 yards on each side. And then it kind of goes up to like a little bit, like, not even hills, but a little bit more, like, a little bit raised land. It's kind of like a little rougher. And there's a little bit more vegetation on that. And then farther off from that, like maybe like quarter mile from the body of water, there's like actual like forest type jungle.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Are you looking for some specific information?
I think they would definitely be looking for like any sort of like predator threats. That's what they deal with on their planet. So that's the
Yeah.
first thing they would look for.
Okay.
Is there anything that's going to eat our people?
Okay. It's a little hard to tell. There's a whole bunch of life readings around. There's some fairly large readings. You would know from just your sense of. I'm not going to make you roll for this because you would just know this. If I, as a fourth grade teacher, know this, you would know this and all that. You know that for the most part, at least in most ecosystems, like the largest beings would probably actually be like herbivores.
Yeah.
So the big readings are not the ones that probably you pay the most attention to. It's probably like the mid-size to like almost not small, but like
Yeah.
that range in there. That would be probably the actual predators.
Okay. And like where are those located? Is there a particular area of the landing zone that they kind of congregate in?
It doesn't seem like there's a lot in kind of those flatter areas. There
Okay.
are. It does look like there's a herd of something. Like again, they're just kind of like readings. You can't really see them very
Yeah.
well. But again, herd generally is a good idea. You know, a pack of animals don't generally sit out in the wild if they're predators.
Yep.
So they're probably some type of like grazing herbivores. Once you get to where there's more vegetation, and then in the jungles there's a lot more stuff. But it seems that like these flatter areas are pretty empty.
Okay. Cool. Looks good.
Yeah.
Sweet. This looks like an excellent spot. Well done, Road.
Oh, it was mostly Jonas.
I kind of, while you're talking to them behind you, you just see me like shaking my like. Alrighty then. Well, I suppose I'm gonna go ahead and load our supplies over. Hey, Lawrence, what do you got over there?
Thanks to Rhodes' good idea, I decided to pack a variety of biological toxins to deal with any flora or fauna that are hazardous.
Oh, we are bringing some equipment to test the local flora and, if we can get close to it, fauna. See if any
Certainly.
of it is venomous or particularly toxic.
But all of this is digestible by everyone here, so if we have to use it to take down an animal of some kind, we could still have a food source. I don't know how much in the way of rations they packed in their luggage. They're going to have to start living off the
Speaking
land
of, I have to
soon
go
enough.
pack.
I would pack lightly. Their luggage does take up
I
a large
always
chunk
pack light.
of my cargo.
And don't pack the best stuff.
Of course not.
In fact, don't pack things that you're too fond of.
We're not going jungling.
It's not likely, but it's not impossible.
I'll pack sensibly for the occasion.
All right.
He will not.
This is a different point of reference for sensible, right?
Yeah.
All right. You want me to grab that for you, Lawrence?
Oh no, I'll carry it.
All right. I'll
I
start.
wouldn't want to bang it against your crate of weaponry.
You want something a little hardier to put that in, maybe?
No, it's fine.
Something with, inertial dampener inside.
That's not a bad idea.
Let's go.
I have it, and I kind of lift the lid, and it's just like it really looks like a Frankenstein's test tube.
Test tubes, just
like
a roll of
various
it.
colors. Like one of them, it looks like it's boiling, even though it's just in a test tube. Like and they're all in a little like foam tray, kind of in the box.
So we're between an alchemist set and like a Nixie
Yeah.
cube clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I already know the sealable container with the little pocket of gravity around the inside to keep that in.
How
And
delightful.
so,
That was a good idea.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go pack these things up into the shuttle and get ourselves ready to get planet side.
Yes. Oh, I have to stop back by my quarters. I'll meet you there.
All right. Copy that. And I will pull pull the crate out and start getting ready to load up the ready to load up the shuttle.
I think while they're loading up the shuttle, Nolvath is going to do their best to baby crab proof the indoor forest.
Yikes.
Tavrak can't come to the planet with us. Stuff might eat him.
It's true.
I know.
There's no way we can hide
A giant hermit crab.
a very large
Exactly.
hermit crab from the passengers.
Quiet? Quiet question mark?
Time to make a Tavrock box.
Quiet time. And they kind of do their best to flash colors that says like, "I'll be back soon, and I'll bring you something fun."
God. Does Tavrock have object permanence?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Nolvath, gone.
Oh.
But like they leave like food for our crab friend, and like make sure that they can't get out of the forest.
Okay.
Because they like theoretically should have everything they need in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So, well, do you like lock the doors and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they are in the. They kind of sadly pick at the food for a minute while they watch you leave, going, "Come with, come."
No, come with danger.
They eat, and they kind of climb up the tree and like look wistfully at you with like their little crab stuck eyes,
Buddy.
but they stay.
Okay.
Maybe show Tavrock to the robots.
Oh.
Maybe they, by default, will help care for the young.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
You should probably hold on that until we come back from the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, maybe they just kind of keep an eye and don't let Tavrock walk out an airlock.
Well, that's why the forest is locked.
Right.
That's why we're locked in the trees.
All right. So there have been some other things. You
Mhm.
load all the stuff.
Road takes forever to pack.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So all their stuff is still on the shuttle. They are very eager to go. They are now in like brand new outfits that are no longer like the flowy robes. They're kind of like preppy hiking gear. Like
Door
that-
exploring.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
The equivalent of pith helmets on their head.
Oh god.
Not nothing like that. But
Oh
like,
boy.
it's more like sportswear type things. Like it looks like they're about to do a commercial for like going camping rather than like actually.
They're
going
that
camping.
amazing REI drag queen that they hire every year.
Right.
Nice.
Her.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And they so yeah, they look fantastic. Not any more prepared to face what they're going to, but they definitely look better than the like this is a step up from the robes if they're going to be out in the wilderness.
Sure.
Okay, good.
1,000 years later, Road turns up wearing a like extremely shockingly sensible outfit. I know, terrifying. Just like almost looks like a business suit, but if a business suit were made to go hiking.
Perfection.
And then a hover like steamer trunk behind him.
Nice.
Nice.
I try to puzzle piece that steamer trunk amidst all the stuff we already have.
Actually, I think he goes up and pushes a button, and there's like a special like owner's storage compartment that is fitted
okay,
for
alright.
this steamer trunk.
Just
It
for
came
road.
with the shuttle.
Yeah, it came with the
Yeah,
shuttle.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
This
That's
is a
cool.
Rolls Royce, okay? It's thought of everything.
I love it. Nolvath shows up and they have their like mesh normal gear on, but they also have some pieces of transparent armor over like vital places. And then you've never seen them wear this before, but on their back they have a pair of transparent blades.
Oh, that's
Sick.
awesome.
So you're saying we get to find out where Nolvath's vital organs actually are?
Yeah, they're in places you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, that sounds right. I was like, there's going to be something down in the leg that I'm just going to not know what to do about.
And then that pistol that you gave them is like right in the small of their back where it's like
Okay,
most easy
cool.
to hide.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Very cool.
All right. I think with that, I hop onto the cockpit, and I start, doing the preliminary checks, spinning up the engines. Whenever y'all are ready, let's get out of here.
Road walks in. What does that smell?
Don't worry about it. It'll burn off in atmosphere.
In atmosphere? The ship's staying out here.
I say, yeah, it's the ship. By the way, I am gonna need you to be in the co-pilot seat.
I guess.
All right.
All right, awesome. There's not any big problems. They actually picked this planet very carefully. Like, they didn't think to like pick a place on the planet, but as far as like atmospheric conditions, like the chemicals, what they need to grow these trees, what they need themselves to breathe and stuff like that, they did
Nice.
at least some modicum of research. So it's very simple for someone who's a trained pilot like you to land on this very, Goldilocks zone type planet.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Road is still also wearing his respirator.
All the manure does burn off as you're in there.
Yeah. As it
The
should.
intense heat
yes.
just destroys it all. Okay. all right.
And your guests have developed a new annoying habit. They're now documenting their process.
Oh no, they're taking selfies. They have a selfie stick.
No. Basically taking a bunch of selfies and
Little
pictures of each other.
Camera that follows them around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nolvath is camouflaged. Invisible.
Yeah. They don't seem super invested in documenting your part in this,
Good.
but
Great.
mostly they're focused on themselves and their bravery and they're doing this.
Yes, they're very brave.
Yeah.
I think when we land, one of the odd features that most shuttles don't have is that you see Road push a button and it makes essentially an atmosphere bubble that doesn't extend very far away from the ship, but it's just enough that you could go down the ramp and stand on the ground without being buffeted by the natural atmosphere of the planet. So it's like those tents that have the flies that make a little porch. It's that, but for a shuttle.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. I'll kind of hold everybody back. I've got a pistol in my hip. I'm gonna unclip that, and I'm gonna say, all right, let me just take a quick pass around the general area, make sure that everything's all right.
I will stay here and take readings.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. Keep the comms on. I'll scream or something if anything happens.
You don't see them, but Nolvath goes with you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Terrifying. That's right. We have a predator. For two.
I pop the hatch. I'll open the physical hatch. I'll flick if there's any kind of barrier field or atmospheric barrier to that kind of seals the door. I'll engage that as soon as I walk out and kind of take a quick look around and step off the ship onto the soil. What do I see?
All right. Lawrence, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think I'll stand on the ramp
Okay.
Okay.
and just kind of keep an eye out while you're looking around, and
All right.
so I'm between the passengers and Road and the planet.
Okay. We'll say you landed, we'll say about, 20 yards from the actual river piece, with the lake being a little bit if you're on a map, above you slightly.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Northish. And yeah, you're kind of smack in the middle of this big flat area.
Okay.
So off to one side is, slowly the hills and the more vegetation you can see. Be a fairly quick walk to the jungle part of it.
Okay.
And then on the opposite side is where the water is.
Okay. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna say that I actually have my pressure suit
Okay.
under, my vest, my clothing. I'll engage my flight mask, just while I'm walking out there. Pull up my little wrist reader, take readings, just make sure there's nothing big approaching us.
Yeah.
No weird microbes that we might not detect that might prove harmful.
It doesn't seem like it. It's very, very similar to the tree planet as far as things. There are there's a herd of some sort of herbivore. They look sort of like moose.
Oh, okay.
Except They're a little bit smaller, and they seem to have some sort of they're a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're that shape though. They've got like the longer face,
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
little bit they're kind of shaped that way. A few of them do have kind of like big antler type
Yeah.
things, and they look like they do have the long legs to look like to like wade into water and such things.
Okay.
They are kind of like this odd bluish color though.
Huh.
And they look like they are more. It might be like feathers more than fur. It's hard to tell from this distance.
That's cool. All right. You know what? Can the antlers kind of have a similar structure, but have an actual full-on membrane kind of wrapping around it?
Sure. Yeah.
Like it's meant to catch something,
Yeah.
but I don't know what.
Yeah.
Okay, I look
Like
at
bug
them.
net.
Yeah.
They're kind of like mulling around the edge of the river. Some of them are like wading into it. Some of them aren't. They seem to be eating some of the vegetation on the edge.
Okay.
And then also kind of dipping their heads in and like pulling stuff up.
Okay. I walk a few yards away from the ship, and then over the comms, you're just
Ah! Oh no.
Shh, hey, watch your step out here. We got a lot of drop-ins. I just soiled my shoe. But it looks like we're safe. We do have a few large creatures off in the distance. They are not approaching. They don't seem to be overly concerned that we're here. Come on out. The weather's fine.
You see Nolvath decamouflage behind you.
Terrestrial
Oh.
jump here.
My hand flies to my hip, and I'm like, oh. Okay, and I just catch it. Nolvath, I gotta say, this is not necessarily like an unknown planet is not the best place to sneak up on me like that.
We needed to make sure you were safe. You don't have a camouflage reflex. Anything could see you out here.
Apparently so. Look, I appreciate it. Sorry if I overreacted.
It is okay.
What do you make of those things? And I point to those large moose creatures.
We would not fight one recreationally, but it does not look like they would attack unprovoked.
I have questions. I will pocket them for now.
A bloose, if you will.
And I'll turn to you for your professional opinion. In your professional opinion, just so I don't lead anybody astray, it seems like it's all right for everybody to come on out, right?
It does. If a herd this size is unharmed and feels safe enough to graze with us here, then there are likely no predators in the immediate vicinity.
All right, good enough for me. I'm gonna turn on a comm that activates a channel throughout the entire ship, and I'll say, everybody, it looks like the environment is safe, comfortable enough. Again, watch your step. I don't want you getting into anything you'd rather not have on your person. But welcome to Last Two.
Oh my gosh, we can't believe we're here. It's amazing, so exciting. Oh my gosh, look at them all. And they like start taking pictures of things and they're like walking up. Oh, look at the ground. What are those piles of things? Okay. Like
Phosphorus.
Based on when we landed, how long until nightfall?
It's a little hard to guess, but I'm sure like some sort of device one of you has. It seems like they have about like a 32-hour day. So probably landed like we'll say mid-afternoon.
Okay, so you've got a few hours of light left.
Oh yeah, you've got it.
Okay, all right.
I didn't know if I needed to rush them into being like, let's unpack your tent now. Okay.
Road finally like turns the shuttle off, essentially. But then comes down the ramp and doesn't leave the bubble.
I suppose at that point I'm gonna go on in. I'm gonna look at you as I walk back in and say, "Hey, you doing all right?"
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna start unloading this here ship and trying to get our ex-passengers settled here in their new home.
Yes, finally.
All right, yeah, and I'll start pulling crates out. I'm just gonna pull them out, not necessarily pack them in any kind of rhyme or reason, and I'm gonna let our, Igram and our Askesian friends figure out where they want everything.
Okay. Yeah, they immediately start opening things and looking through things. A lot of it's closed, but actually a surprising amount of them, like once they get open, you're like, oh, that's actually like like provision or some
Practical.
sort of tent
Uh,
thing.
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
Like
all right.
things that you maybe thought were like robes before. Like, oh, okay, that's like sleeping stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
At one point, they unload. Once they've unloaded it, it's probably taken like at least an hour to unload all their stuff,
Mhm.
and they haven't even opened all of it because they do have a bunch of just like extra luggage stuff.
Stupid
That's-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff. But they do have this like large case that they open that has you know when you have like a blow up mattress that's folded up. It's sort of similar to that, but it's this like metallic fabric.
Mm.
So they go and they like spend like half an hour like walking around finding a spot for it. They finally go put it out there and they like press a button on it and it sort of like unfolds itself
Oh,
and
cool.
pops up into what is essentially a small like building that
Yeah.
has this it isn't actually fabric, it's like this metal like
Mm.
One of those
size.
tiny houses
Mhm.
you can buy on Amazon.
Yeah, except it folds up.
Yeah.
It's the yurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I'd want one of those.
I know, right? Seriously.
Yeah, so and it even has like there's like a little like tube they go and that goes up to the river and like they have like plumbing in it and stuff like that. It's very fancy.
Nice.
Mm.
nice,
Yeah,
nice,
it's like glamping extreme.
Speaking of glamping,
Okay.
Rode pushes a button, and not his steamer trunk, but a different, very similar looking trunk that clearly goes with the ship,
Mhm.
lowers into the like loading dock area, and he just goes and opens it, and it's fully like a poolside minibar.
Oh yeah. It's the Stark Industries
Exactly.
bar.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it just comes out of the side of the ship, and there's like a little table and chairs that also come out with it, and so he's just lounging at the foot of the plank, and he's just hanging out there.
As I unload Nolvath and Lawrence, I'm gonna kind of see if I can gather the two of you,
Mhm.
and you know, because I see you're just reclining and
Yeah,
lounging.
having a nice time.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Not
one
gonna-
time you see him take his respirator off
Yeah.
is to have a drink.
Precisely. Not gonna bother. No, I'm not gonna pull you out of that now. But I turn to the two of you and say, so what do y'all think? Do I need to set up some perimeter defenses? Got
Before nightfall, it seems like a good idea.
all right.
If there's herbivores looking over at the creatures,
Bloose?
yes,
You're
but
welcome.
trying to
perfect.
decide if, like, they seem to be scooping out of the water vegetation, like algae,
Yeah,
something.
I mean maybe like small shrimp or something. Like
Hmm.
they're definitely like maybe like small fish. It's not like they're like stabbing like
Yeah,
salmon
they're not
and like
hoisting
ripping them.
big
Yeah.
like gar out of the
Yeah,
river
no.
and just
No.
tearing them apart
Yeah,
with
no.
their antlers or something horrific. No.
Nothing
so like,
in the water has tried to eat them since we've been here.
It doesn't
Right,
seem
yeah.
to be.
Great.
God, I saw this hilarious video this week. A lady in Louisiana was like, "You know how to tell if there's gators in the water in Louisiana? You go down there and you touch that water. Is it wet? There's gators in there." I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
accurate.
Yeah.
But if they're out here grazing during the day, presumably this is a food source area. It's a water source area. I'd assume predators come at night.
All right.
I mean,
Uh,
mostly.
I'm gonna get to work then. And I start pulling out these like tripods. I mount some of the SMGs on it. I've got little like laser trip sensors that I install on each one, and I put like 3 of them strategically placed around our general area.
Sure.
But now they've unloaded. They now have like 3 separate of these glamping tents up, like next to each other. It's starting to look like a little suburban camping excursion thing. Yeah, they're setting up things. They're trying to like sort the actual clothing into the different tents now, or whatever they are. And they seem very preoccupied with that. Not at all preoccupied with the impending darkness that might be here.
Okay.
Their buildings, once they're all set up, they seem to have closing doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these look, they're basically like cabins if cabins were made of aluminum, like straight aluminum, but it's not actual like metal. It's like this, like it's hard to tell what it is. Maybe it's based on their crystalline technology, but it's like it moves like fabric, but once it's in place, like maybe it's electric, who knows what it is, but then it's like it's solid once it's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But when it's deactivated, it kind of crumples back down like as fabric. But it's pretty solid. Like if you took like a giant ramrod or something and slammed it to the side, it would probably give. But it's definitely stronger than like a canvas tent or something like that.
It's going to keep out a raccoon, but maybe not a bear.
Exactly. Perfect description.
Speaking of which, where are their food stores? Are they in their accommodations?
They seem to have like you haven't seen in. I mean, if you go in, they do have sort of like this like kitchenette in each of them, and it seems like some of the things that some of the Louis Vuitton luggage, face Louis Vuitton luggage they brought, it does actually have like some provisions in it.
Okay. I think Nolvath would kind of take them aside and warn them that if they don't have any sort of like smell-proof containers, that they probably want to put their food somewhere else than they sleep.
Oh,
Bear bag.
They seem like puzzled, but also like intrigued by this concept. Oh, so the food would make them come in to the lodging. I see. Interesting. So we just leave it outside on the ground?
No. That would be a sacrifice. You will put it into a sturdy container outside of your sleeping structure. It could be in a different structure, but you do not want to keep your food stores with you as you sleep because it can attract predators.
I see. All right. Well, we will maybe leave it in some of the luggage outside. Seems like that might be the only thing they have.
Yeah, some of their luggage does have like the temperature control stuff.
Yeah, so it's
that's
probably airtight.
Yeah, if it's airtight, that Nolvath would point those ones out. Use those.
Okay. And then kind of in the middle, they like between, like they have their three little lodgings there. Like they've kind of started. They put their food stores outside, and then they have their the container holding the sapling, and then the three seeds. Will all of you be staying the evening with us? It might be best to keep, now that you've got them thinking about these things, it might be best to keep the sapling and the seeds on board tonight until we can find a proper place to plant them tomorrow.
Well, then apparently we will be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say that we're staying here tonight?
Yes. To protect our investment.
Oh.
You know what? In that case, I'm going to go into my little bin of supplies. I'm gonna pull out a tent and a bedroll, and I'm gonna start setting myself up.
Okay.
Just
Nice.
enjoy camping myself. It's not nearly as glamorous as the as the Askesian setup. It's really just kind of like a bare bones like issued tent.
Road goes into the ship and says not another word about this.
You don't see Nolvath. They have decided to take first watch.
There are trees.
Stuff might come out of those trees. We don't know.
Before sunset actually hits, I would want to spend some time watching for aerial creatures.
Okay.
Like, are there bird life?
Yeah, there's definitely birds. There's some sort of like gliding reptile looking thing
Cool.
too. Not super big. It looks like they're like the biggest one you saw is like about 3 feet across, but that's mostly like wingspan.
Wingspan,
Yeah, they're more like
Thin little body, big wings.
yeah, like the little iguanas you see in the stores are more the size of what they are, not like the big honking ones, but like
Not
That's-
the iguanas that menace people on their lawns and what is
No.
that, Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
Florida, that whole area.
yeah, no. So but those are kind of the biggest things you've seen so far.
Okay.
You do hear the like ship, the shutters close, and like a bunch of other sounds are coming from the ship now. With no external clue to what's going on.
Amazing.
Okay.
Lawrence, what are you doing?
I think in preparation for night, I'm probably gonna take off my overalls that I've been wearing to
Mhm.
help unload and get settled, and then I'm just wearing that black sort of spacesuit
Mhm.
thing underneath, and then I think I'm gonna go climb on top of one of their huts and wait.
Okay. Normal. Totally normal.
Nightmare fuel.
Uh,
Don't worry, there's a man with shark teeth on your roof.
You're like hunched over. You're like a
Better on
little
your roof
low-level
than in your
Batman.
Yeah.
Like on the edge of the,
Yeah. But probably just laying prone along the roof line of this house, kind of, half of
Mhm.
my body on one side, half on the other, just kind of watching the approaches, sort of thing. And
Nice.
if anybody looks closely, probably eyes have widened a little farther,
Mm-hmm.
specifically to focus better at night.
Mm-hmm. Totally fine. Okay, cool.
After a while, Road does come down the ramp again. All right, whenever you're ready, the bunks are prepared.
You hear
Oh,
thank you, Road, from the top of your ship.
Ah! Oh, Jonas, what is this?
oh, I don't know. I thought I'd enjoy the wilderness for a little bit.
You're
This
welcome
is,
to. There's also 4 bunks inside of the ship.
I may consider that depending on depending on how lively the area gets. Let me stay out here at least a little bit after dark.
You take your time. Enjoy, if that's what this is.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to turn to you, and I'm going to, indicate at the pistol you pulled out of your hip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, when's the last time you used that thing?
It's been a while.
Oh. I rummage in my, crate.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out what looks like a little orb.
Mm-hmm.
I, kind of click a button on top of it. You hear this, and it kind of floats out of my hand. And it's got a series of, little glowing lights around it.
Cool.
And I say, care for a little target practice?
Oh, I don't shoot.
Maybe it's high time you learned.
I didn't say I don't know how. I said I don't.
Maybe it's high time you got a little, you tried your hand out and made sure you were not getting rusty or anything like that.
The last time I shot this gun was the worst day of my life, and I'd prefer to not do it again.
I reach out and pull that thing down. I disengage it.
Mhm.
It just falls back in my hand. And I say, all right, I suppose if you would rather not relive that sensation, I'm not going to force you on it. Just want to make sure that it's peaceful now. If anything happens in the middle of the night, that you're going to be able to take care of yourself.
I have money and this beautiful shuttle that no longer smells like it's been trampled upon to avoid exactly this situation.
Okay, all right. Like I said, depending on how lively it gets out here, I may come knocking on your door a little later tonight.
I appreciate your gusto.
And at that, I actually start. I pull my jacket off. I unzip my my pressure suit, and I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna see if I can find someplace to, I don't know, maybe get into a little something more comfy. Get ready to settle in for the night.
Again, there's rooms on the shuttle.
I appreciate it, but you know what? I'm feeling like maybe widening our range here on the planet for a bit. Don't worry, I've got a remote for the perimeter cannons.
I'm just gonna leave this open, and he runs his finger across his little communicator rings, and you can see just the little storm that appears in his hand, just kind of staying open. That that he's listening. Should anyone start yelling?
Okay, all right.
While this is happening, are you two still kind of keeping watch?
Yes.
You notice that the Bloose kind of lift their heads at some point, and they don't run off, but they sort of start wandering off now that it's
Nice.
getting dark. And they wander away from where they've been foraging to the deeper vegetation. So where you can't really see them anymore.
Okay.
Excellent.
Road wanders back to the ship.
I think probably over the communicator, I'd probably say something like, how do I want to put this? If I require assistance tonight, I'll be very clear about that.
Ominous and yet direct.
But it's been some time since I've hunted something.
Hopefully it remains some time longer.
Oh no, I'm looking forward to this. Click.
Amazing.
And I think probably the only person that can see me is Nolvath.
Yeah.
And I probably like shimmy off the backside of the hut and
Mm.
head towards the vegetation. Like
Okay.
wherever that area was, I'm heading that direction.
Okay.
Terrifying.
All right. So what would while you're doing that, what would the sensation if someone was going to be in the camp? What would they hear from where you're going?
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of other predator thing I encounter.
Oh, okay. Are you? Oh, I thought you were hunting the Bloose. I'm sorry. I
No.
misunderstood. Okay.
Like I'm gonna stay close enough. I'm
Got
not just going off into the hinterlands.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay close enough that could reappear if the camp needs help.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that something might be on the move. It's the hour. A lot of predator species operate in the dawn and
Twilight,
dusk.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever diurn. No, it isn't.
Diurnal
word?
is
Yeah.
awake at both ends.
Both ends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do notice that, especially those of you who've been prey/predator, do notice there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of both what might be predators and also prey animals coming to the water up, especially near the lake. They seem to be a little bit shy because of the shuttle and the new sudden building of buildings, which they've never seen.
And light sources.
And
stuff.
yeah, there's like they're definitely a little shy of that. That there's a lot of like animals, and you can't see all of them necessarily, but there's like kind of like the thing where it's like reflective eyes suddenly, and some of them move, and suddenly a bunch of eyes pop up, and they all kind of scuttle away, and things like that. Some of them are tall, some of them are small, some of them are very, very small. It does seem like they get a little braver as the dusk wanes on more into actual darkness. And there seems to be some sort of rodent. It's hard to get like a good look at them.
Cute.
But they seem to be kind of the bravest ones. And they were like very close to the ground. And they kind of pop their heads up a little bit. And like you see the reflective eyes mostly, and then they pop back down.
How large are they?
They seem to be fairly small. So
Okay.
like 6 inches long at the most.
Gotcha.
Including tail or just the body?
Just the body. So they're
Okay.
kind of like
they're rats.
solid
Basically.
rats.
The rats,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like space rats, so they're cuter, but
Yeah.
they've got
Rats
like
are
big
pretty
eyes.
cute.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I
love
love
rats.
They're very smart. But they kind of, and they seem to be going in like a bunch, and they kind of climb on top of each other to take a look and like, move them down. So I'm kind of picturing them as like meerkats, but small.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that sort of thing.
baby.
I know.
They're like stoats, my beloveds.
Yeah. But we'll say just after like everything's kind of settled down, it's probably like the equivalent of like 9 p.m. If anyone's paying attention, you kind of see like everything kind of leaves the waters. Everything kind of goes back. So if you kind of look up, you're suddenly like, oh, there's no little glowing eyes anymore. Where they all
I mean, we're not playing a Lord of the Rings game this time.
Space over there.
Space Watcher.
Yeah.
See, body, brains, courage, heart, and savvy. Brains is -1. My courage is +2.
Wow.
I was actually thinking of heading towards the water, and maybe like pulling a Mulan.
Mhm.
For
For people who might not be of our age.
Oh,
bracket,
sure,
can
yeah.
you describe?
There's this scene where they've been training in the camp for a little while, and they're kind of stinky, but Mulan wants to go take a bath somewhere, and so Mulan finds this lake where they kind of just slip in and start cleaning themselves up. So yeah, I was gonna do something like that.
Okay.
I've been in my flight suit for a little while, my pressure suit for a little while. I did not bring a change of clothes. I brought like a rudimentary set of like environmentally protective pajamas, like, standard issue pajamas.
Yeah.
But this is the only outfit I have to wear. So I do kind of want to clean myself up a little bit.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna approach the shore. I have a little. I'm gonna say I have a hand light, on my thing, on my wrist device, and just if something approaches, I'll kind of shine the light over its way, hopefully to scare it off. What is it like when I get to the shoreline?
Empty. There's nothing up there right now.
Okay, all right. Does the water look pretty deep and relatively clean and fresh?
Oh, it definitely looks very clean and fresh. Absolutely. There's like tracks and stuff in the mud on the edges, but
Yeah.
nothing like it hasn't caused a bunch of like debris in the water or anything. It's still very, very clear and nice. There's like a walkway. It seems to kind of gradually go, and it seems like
Okay.
it gets pretty deep eventually, but there's definitely, it's not like a drop off like a hole or like where it's caved in. So you can
Yeah.
definitely wade in up to probably like chest deep before it starts getting like deeper.
Okay, I'm just gonna wade in like calf deep,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna squat and kind of like just take some water and splash it on my face.
Yeah. It's
You know.
nice and surprisingly warm actually.
Oh,
So like not weird, creepy warm, but
Yeah.
like, when you go to the beach
like
and you're like,
temperate warm.
yeah, and you're like
yeah.
expecting it to be freezing, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like 64 degrees. This is kind of nice water. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
all
So
right.
it's not like bath or thermal water, but
Or like the first time you get into the ocean in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Versus
yeah.
us.
Like tropical
Yeah.
beach.
Like,
Yeah.
Going for a nighttime dip in the Caribbean, very different.
Yeah. Absolutely.
oh,
Okay,
Amazing.
you know what, Jonas? I haven't really spent a whole lot of time in nature. Most of the places I've been have been either like urban or kind of desolate, not particularly natural, forested areas, or even just kind of like this beautiful pastoral area. So I'll revel in that a little bit.
Yeah.
Are there moons?
yeah. There's actually, we said there was a couple, right?
There's asteroids and moons.
Yeah. there
Okay,
was
a few moons.
Yeah, a few
Okay.
of them. So, and some of the asteroids are like big enough to kind of, you can't see
Oh,
them as
sure.
asteroids,
Yeah.
but they're like moving, kind of like you see satellites.
Yeah,
moving.
yeah. Oh,
So
that's
they're kind
cool.
So there's this constant kind of motion of all these like not shooting stars, but constant
Yeah.
moving look like stars.
Okay.
Mining debris.
yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so
Alright.
beautiful. I mean, from here.
Yeah, I'll pull off my communicator, just kind of lay it on the ground,
Oh,
like
no.
a yard or so
Oh,
away
good.
from me. I'm gonna unzip down and just kind of like strip down to the waist, and then just start cleaning myself up.
It's
Alright, cool,
super enjoyable.
Nice water, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was nice
Where
having
are the
time.
rest of you?
I think Nolvath has seen you go into the water like a person with a death wish. So they have moved closer to, like, not all the way, but like kind of halfway between like where they were posted up on the ship, so they can have a high vantage point, and the water, like halfway in between there, so they can keep an eye on camp, but they can keep an eye on you.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Rhodes in the ship. He's in like a
The door's
dressing
closed.
gown. He's got a martini basically in his hand, and he's listening to music, but he does have the comms open. Not that it matters now that someone's taken off their
I mean,
communicator.
it's just like a yard or two away, you know.
But yeah, he's basically set himself up as kind of like a base camp, and he's like casually going over the readouts and stuff from the area, but he's not really working. He's just having a nice night and
That makes sense.
pretending that he's not camping.
Lawrence, where are you? You
Have I been successful in finding something?
you found some like mid-sized predators, like bobcat size.
Sure.
There's a couple things out there that if you want to grab one of those. They don't
Yeah.
seem to be like approaching the camp in any way, but they're definitely out there
Or
doing their
right in line.
predator thing.
I think then everybody probably once in a while has heard like the scream of something out there. You know, like if you've ever heard like a coyote fight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? It's something kind of like that where you hear like animal noises, and then finally like it gets to the point where like you hear some vicious kind of noises,
Yeah.
and then a squeal,
Yeah.
and then it's quiet, and everybody's like, well, something won.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So that's probably what at least at camp you've heard.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been the time.
Yeah. After you've done that, you suddenly, as a predator, are aware of a bigger thing happening, and you kind of see everything else kind of like also slinking off and moving away from that, and you kind of sense probably there's something big in the area just by looking at all the native creatures' reaction to something.
But no obvious signs of anything directly yet.
I mean, you can roll for that.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Roll dice. We do that.
Let me consult the paper.
Yeah, so that would be the brains. So
I'm okay
access
with that.
knowledge. So to scan an area to find or observe something physical. Unless
Would-
you have a special thing.
Well, I don't have a special move for that, but I do have ground tactics,
Okay. So you
ground
would,
combat tactics.
yeah, so you'd add a +1 to your
Great.
your other roll.
I'll take that. 6, 7.
There's all right, so you may choose something off the list, which is probably just find out what's there, right? Send the area or find something, observe something physical. Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to tweak that a little bit. So you are not able to see it, but like when everything else flees, you kind of like pause for a second and you do like the predator thing where you kind of turn on all your senses, and you hear just like the slightest like rustle along the ground, like off to the side, sort of like heading towards the camp. And it's pretty big, but like almost completely silent.
What would I do there?
What does your
Uh,
sense of smell like?
Pretty good.
It's pretty
I mean,
good.
we've established that
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. So
You
I
can, like,
think
smell the eggs.
I think when you're like thinking of it, like when you're like trying to smell
Focus.
it, like on the wind, you do kind of get a whiff of something. It's there's like kind of the smell of like past kills, like just a little bit on there.
Fetid breath,
Yeah.
kind of.
Thank you for beautiful words. And like a little bit of like this like hair smell, like damp
okay.
a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm just rolling a die for myself.
That's fine.
Okay. I think I probably try and get low and start moving back towards the camp.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'll turn my communicator back on and I will let everyone know.
Okay.
I will say there is something, and I'll give an approximate direction that it's coming from, heading towards the camp. It appears to be large and a meat eater. I have not made visual contact yet, but be prepared.
Mm.
No, close enough to the ship, but they do hear the of the like rotating laser cannon attached to the gun. I'll just kind of deploy.
Okay. I think when I hear that, I
Nope. I think we just going back. I think we specifically.
Oh, it
said
doesn't have any cannons.
doesn't
That's
have
right.
any
Oh
cannons.
no.
Okay.
That was the
That was the
stipulation.
catch on it. Yeah. Oh
Right.
You
no.
can have it as a
Okay.
transport, but it can't have any
I
weapons.
can't. That's right, because
'Cause
we
that-
have the weapon.
Yeah, that's what makes the baby special.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, and I didn't take the baby.
No.
Okay, all right.
That you just hear the like. I'm going to close the ship. If you need anything, and you're a sentient creature, I'll let you in.
I'm like kind of just squatting in the water, right? I'm gonna actually kind of stealthily, smoothly get on my belly and reach for my communicator and just kind of put it back on. And I'll scan the area. I'll turn off any lights, scan the area around, see what I can see in the dark. And when your message goes through, I'll say, very quiet, as quietly as I can, like almost a whisper, sit tightly in there. I'll turn on the perimeter guns. So if any noise is made, just don't panic, all right?
Huh. Wonderful.
Okay.
Road whispers back for no reason.
And then I shoot over to you, Lawrence. You said this thing is big. I don't see anything getting towards the camp.
I haven't seen it either, but it moves like it's not concerned.
Great.
Okay. I'm. Oof. Listen, I'm a quick walk back to the camp. I'm gonna try to make my way back there as quietly and as quickly as I can. Um, the perimeter defenses are armed, and I, flick a button on my remote. You hear like the little whir of
Sure,
something
sure.
engaging. The sensors are tuned to your bioscan, so it should not target you if you get close. But whatever this thing is, if it starts firing, hopefully it'll either scare it away or I don't know, take care of it, whenever needs to happen.
Indeed.
And then I'll silence the communicator. I'll kind of get up and I'll start like very slowly roadie crawling my way back to the camp. Again, I'm gonna actually get the pistol in hand this time.
Okay.
Nolvath is returning to high ground to look for whatever is coming.
Okay.
And you're still camouflaged, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just feel like that's,
You know?
that's like their default. so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to assume
We're
them.
outside. We're camouflaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your night vision like, Nolvath?
Good.
Okay. You kind of, now that you know to look for something,
Mhm.
are kind of starting to see something. It sort of looks like it's slithering through the grass, but not quite. You can tell it does have
Okay.
legs. It's like a little bit of a long-bodied creature, but it's like with its fur, it's almost the exact textural match of like the high grasses. Probably by evolutionary design.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little hard to exactly figure out where it starts and ends, but you can kind of see the movement now.
Cool.
Okay. So, I'll send a quick message to everybody, like with the approximate location, like what side of the camp it's coming in on.
Yeah, it looks like it's across the river and heading towards the camp from across the river.
From across the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna have to swim soon.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a river though, so
Right,
it's-
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But at least it's gonna get wet.
they tell you
It's
to
pretty
hurry up,
big.
Jonas. They're like, get away from the water.
Okay, I start like again. You know what? I'm not gonna get up completely and start running, but I am gonna, hide my profile a little bit so I can use my legs a little more effectively.
They would
and
tell you,
start-
they're like, don't run, don't make yourself look like prey.
and I'll just shoot back. I'll do my best.
I'm sorry, did you put
Message-wise.
clothes back on? Did you say?
You know what? No, I didn't. I'm still kind of like down to the waist, and the rest of my top is basically
Muddy.
just hanging off me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like a tail.
Awesome.
Approximately how big is it?
Really hard to tell from this.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like it might be like 10 feet long, maybe a little longer.
Okay. Don't love it, but it's not nearly as big as the stuff they have at home.
True.
So.
All right. Do I make it to the camp kind of like undisturbed?
Yeah.
But there's definitely like that weird feeling like when you're out alone somewhere and you're like, I feel like I'm being watched. But also you've been warned there's something there, so maybe
Yeah.
it's just your mind playing tricks on you.
Sure.
Hard to tell.
Um.
You do hear like this weird like not a splash, but like a little bit of like a lapping noise in the water though.
Oh. Okay. All right. I am going to find. I'm going to find a crate to just kind of crouch behind and take cover, keep my head up, and just see if I can spot whatever this thing is.
Okay. Lawrence, have you gotten back now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably go over to the little pelican case that you gave me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I open it up, and then I pull out one of the vials, and I dip a couple of my little scalpel things into it.
Terrifying.
And he kind of holds them like a kid playing Wolverine, right? So he puts them between fingers
Okay,
and
yeah.
kind of in one hand, right? So they're there, but they were dipped in various vials
Huh.
to be most effective. Where who knows?
Yeah. Right.
And then he closes up the case again and turns it back on.
So as you are uh, like all kind of prepared, you kind of see this like it almost looks like a ferret with really long legs. And then its head kind of is hard to see, but it's comes out of the water and it like kind of shimmies along the edge of the river on this side, sort of like skirting the edge of the light from the encampment. So you kind of get different glimpses and stuff. It looks like its head is kind of shaped sort of like a hippopotamus, but also covered with fur and with more predatory teeth. And it's got the thing where it like if it looks like straight at the light, it kind of like reflects its eyes. And it looks like it has very thick fur like around its neck and around certain parts of its body, almost as like a protection. You know how like lions have like their mane around their neck, so if people bite, like if other animals bite it, like there's like that defense there. So it seems like it might be partially a defense mechanism around like some of the vital organs. Have this really thick fur.
Okay.
And yeah, it seems to be very agile both in and kind of out of the water. And it's kind of seen the shots of like lions or wolves kind of like just the edge of a campfire light, just like not sure whether they're going to attack yet, but sizing things up.
Okay. So it's just kind of skirting around our campsite at this point. You know what? I look at the tents, the glamping tents, and I just see if there's any indication that anybody's going to do anything dumb in there.
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay, so maybe
seem
they've
like,
all settled in for the night.
yeah,
or at
well,
least-
they've sort of
okay.
also been listening. I think I don't know if you've shared communicators with them or okay. They're not aware of this then, so they're
Okay.
probably blissfully organizing their wardrobes.
Oh yeah.
Not really sure.
They're home now.
Yeah,
They're
don't.
moving
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, they're moving
Yeah.
in, so they don't know that this is happening.
Okay. I'm going to send a message, like a text message to everybody. Text only. No, vocal communication. Saying, got eyes on this thing. It's big. Like exclamation point. And I'm gonna say, not sure if it's going to enter the camp or not. Send that out.
And it's like I want to be like it's like 10 feet long with like a fairly long tail.
Oh, sure.
So
Okay. All right.
it's more like the body itself is more like 6 feet.
Okay.
And it's got a kind of a long neck and then like a tail. So yeah.
Pretty big,
Yeah.
you know, for my account.
And it pauses for a second. It just seems to be looking, and then it like emits this incredibly low sound. Yeah, it's just kind of like you almost don't like necessarily hear it as much as you kind of feel it. And it kind of like if you had a glass of water, it'd be like the
You see
water,
like the ripple.
yeah, the
Yeah.
ripple in it. And then you hear from farther off, like in the jungle, you hear a couple like the same like low level emissions, slightly different pitches, slightly different voices, like returning.
Like coming our way.
Yeah. And
Oh.
I mean the sound is coming your way.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
know where the
Oh, I
animal
see.
is.
I see. Like
So-
answering back. Okay,
yeah, it's
gotcha.
sort of like how
Okay.
like, wolves cry to each
Yeah.
other. This is kind of what's happening there.
Okay. All right. There may be more than one of these things. Send.
Let's see.
And then we'll say after it sends its thing, it kind of like skitters, it dives into the water and swims almost like an otter. Like,
Oh,
like
okay.
really fast
Yeah.
across and kind of pops up on the other side of the river and just stands there, like kind of looking like it's waiting.
So it's on the far side of the river.
Yeah, it bopped back to the far side of the river. It's waiting for its friends, waiting for backup.
Oh. Okay.
What do you mean there's more of them?
If this thing is far enough away, I'm going to actually whisper into the communicator this time around.
I don't know. I heard several. It sent out some sort of cry, and I heard a variety of other cries, similar cries, off in the distance. I think it may have called for more of its kind.
It is probably a pack hunter and waiting for its pack to come.
Get in the ship.
Do you think we should panic our friends in their tents?
We should probably evacuate them to the ship.
Fine. I will drop the ramp.
At that moment, the creature jumps into the river again and kind of swims down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little bit out of the light and harder to see. And kind of pops back up and seems to be kind of skirting the edge of the camp on this side.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if we should pull these people out of the tent. Like, they're not visible right now.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Do your thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I would like to use manipulate a being.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is mimic the sound of one of the megafauna from my planet.
Okay.
So there is an aquatic predator that we refer to as the kelp-faced razor maw. That is like 3 times as big as these things are, and has a lot of teeth, and is very fast.
Okay.
It makes a really horrible, scary noise
Okay.
when it hunts.
Okay. Perfect.
So I'm gonna try and make that noise to assert predator dominance in the camp and scare it away.
Oh.
Let's see if I can do that. Let's see.
I believe in you.
Can I use my vast knowledge of biology to get a +1
That makes
for
sense.
this scary thing? I know how it sounds.
And also how they would react necessarily.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
that's a 6.
Oh, okay. You make an amazing... We're going to say you do it. And then all 3 of your clients all come out of their little things like, what was that? That was a terrible noise. Are we in danger? And so they're all now out and like also exposed.
Great.
Making
And it
noise.
doesn't seem and like when you made that call, like there was a moment of like totally still silence. And then you hear like the thum, 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 like the thrums of these creatures again. And you can hear them now. They're like right on the outside of the camp. They're probably like really close.
I think right around then is when Road drops the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And here's that horrible sound. And is like about to just retract it back up again, honestly. But I think here's the passengers.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? What do we do?
At that point, I'm going to get up and kind of like reveal where I've been hiding to the Eskesians. And I'm going to say, all right, I need you all to quietly...
You have no shirt on. My.
They say, Jonas says, yeah, I do have that effect on people. But at this point, I need all 3 of you to very calmly and as quietly as you can
What is that?
make your way back onto the ship. And I turn around, like, what are they pointing at?
Yeah, there's one you can see. It's kind of like if you're near where they are with their lodges, there's one that's kind of come between the lodges and the ship.
Oh, okay, all right. And they didn't trigger the perimeter guns or anything like that.
I mean, it's moving very quietly. Where exactly did you put the perimeter guns, and how many are there?
There were 3, and I'm gonna say I just kind of placed them in a little triangle just around the site, just various spots.
Okay, so I need to know where the spots are. So
Okay,
did you put
sure.
them? I was picturing them. So if like
You know what?
there's the ship and the 2 lodges, I
Yeah.
picture there'd be one here, and one here.
I'm gonna say that 2 of them were pointed towards the trees, so we're like closer to the tree side of the camp.
Okay.
And then there was one mere one on the water side of the camp.
Okay. Yeah, that can trigger. I'm gonna have you roll then.
Is that gonna be a force as necessary or?
Well, that's the thing. It's like the problem with them is like they're automated.
Yeah.
So they can. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll have you roll. Yeah, I'll have you roll forces and
or is it more of a prove your worth?
No, it's definitely a force.
Definitely force
It
as
wants to
necessary.
kill
Okay.
the thing.
All right. Here we go. Roll plus body. by 0. I don't think I
I
necessarily.
fucked my roll up.
Huh?
I realized that I should have gotten a 7 because I forgot to add my +1 for savvy
Okay.
because I'm a dumbass.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you were
So smart.
successful. Well, okay.
yeah,
You
it still went good but wrong.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
I don't think I have anything that necessarily applies to this.
Yeah, not
All right.
for automatic fire.
Here we go. +0. Oh, that's 11.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay, so force is necessary. 10 plus, you succeed. Your opponent is shaken or injured and marks 2 conditions, and you are unharmed.
Yeah. So, yeah, with the automatic fire, we're gonna have to do something a little different with it.
Sure.
But they are kind of spread out. You only have 3, and this is a fairly large area,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're probably not going to catch all these creatures.
Yeah.
But the one that's close enough does, and it like fires at it, and it definitely like singes. You can see that the fur like really does provide like a good barrier.
Okay.
But it definitely stings, and you can smell it as it like singes, and it kind of like and like kind of yelps and jumps back.
Okay.
And you can kind of see like there's a couple other like movements in the dark. They all kind of jump back for a moment, and then you can kind of see them still kind of closing it.
Do these things look like they could potentially harm the ship? Like, are they big enough to cause, like,
Probably
you know?
not.
They couldn't get into the ship.
Okay.
The ship is
All
open
right.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, could they rip important pieces off of the outside of the ship if they wanted to? Possibly.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna usher. Hopefully, that bought us a little bit of time. Get in there. You know, I'm gonna start like really flagging the Askesians like into the ship onto the ramp where you're waiting for them.
Yeah.
Blaster in hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got my pistol in hand too. I'm ready. I'm gonna just start aiming it out, just being ready to hopefully scare something off if they come charging towards our friends.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, business partners,
Yeah.
co-investors.
Seeing them coming, Road will also kind of just take a scan and hold the blaster out,
Mm-hmm.
just like if anything gets close, essentially.
They seem to be kind of checking out all the parts of the camp. So sometimes you'll hear like one will get close to one of the automatic firing, and they kind of like run off for a bit, but then it seems like it's not killing them.
Yeah,
They seem to be
Dissuading them.
it's dissuading them a bit, but they're also kind of smart enough. They've kind of figured out where those are.
where the
they're
gaps are.
yeah,
and
so
stuff.
they're trying to
okay.
sneak between them. So they're not necessarily, it doesn't seem like they're like hell-bent on any specific targets. They're just kind of over the whole camp, kind of like if you've seen like bears or raccoons or anything like that,
Yeah.
like at a new place, like let's see what these things are. This is our territory. So it's not like they're like ripping apart just the ship to get to get to your guests, but they're also kind of weaving in and out and testing everything.
If they get close, Road is scared and has no idea what to do about animals.
Mm-hmm.
He will shoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are the two of you?
I think as they're like when Nolvath sees that they're learning to evade the turrets,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna start taking shots at them like in between to make them think that there are more things that will hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not necessarily trying to kill them,
Mhm.
but I am trying to like scare them off like they found a hole in the turrets, so I'm gonna shoot them there so they avoid that now too.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I think I'm going to press the attack after they kind of jumped back from being shot. The one that was specifically got the closest and then took a solid hit. So I probably... It was sort of between the ship and the hut, the one that got closest, right?
So far, but they're moving pretty quick now.
Sure.
So kind of picture like they're moving like a pack of wolves basically in and out,
Mhm.
but like a little bit bigger and like weasels with long legs and also.
But it
good looking.
sounds like there's 3 of
Yeah.
them, not like 8 or 10.
No.
Okay.
I was thinking 4. So
Okay.
there'll be 4.
Um,
But it's a little hard. Like you would probably be able to tell since you're also a predator, but the rest of you probably can't tell
Road thinks
exactly.
there's like 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's an unlimited number.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try and follow the scent of that first one.
Okay.
And you probably, standing on the ramp, you probably see me rush by, but I'm just all in the black suit. And the hair's lost somewhere, and doing this loping kind of a thing. Like one arm is up,
Yeah.
but doing like a three-legged run thing.
You're
by.
doing a beast run.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just with one arm,
Yeah.
not the full kind of quadruped thing.
Yeah, no.
But like probably makes eye contact moving past and is like, stay on the ship.
Road looks like a deer in the headlights. Has never looked more like prey in his life. Not a problem. Hurry up!
But yeah, then I would like to confront one.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, that's the wrong term. I shouldn't use a game term.
No.
I would like
Yes.
to attack one.
Attack one. Yes. No. I understood what you meant.
I'm like, hold on a second. I need to talk about my feelings, animal.
Let me spend a trust to see if we
Yeah.
can solve this problem between us. No. So yeah, force is necessary unless you have a special move for that.
I don't.
Okay.
I did previously, but no, we changed that up. So.
Okay.
Um.
No, we added that one last week, right? The one that you can use savvy or whatever if it's for the good, whatever.
Well, that was. We did it. I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're using it for the good of the crew, you can use savvy instead of body for forces necessary.
Okay. Great. That's much better.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh. 5, 6, 7.
Oh, good.
God.
All right, so 7 and 9. You succeed, but with a complication. Pick one off that list.
Ooh.
So the options are: you are shaken or injured. Mark one condition. You give your opponent a big advantage. You lose or damage something important. Your actions put a crewmate in danger, or a new danger or foe is revealed. I'm very proud of that list. In particular.
Good. Yeah.
It's a good good
Yeah.
choices list.
I think I'll probably be injured.
Okay.
Mm.
So mark condition.
But yeah, I probably rush in and try and rake at it
Mm-hmm.
in the eye face area
Mm-hmm.
to try and make it less effective in general.
Yeah.
But that also puts me close to teeth.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So you do damage on them, but you also get one off the list.
How far away would you say that is happening?
Because you ran right past the ship.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and probably we'll say like a basketball court.
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how far
Okay.
that is.
It's about 30 feet,
Okay.
30 yards.
Yeah, something like that. Someone's gonna yell at us, but we got
Mhm.
30 yards is great. 30 yards.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's be even more spacey. 30 meters.
You know what? Meters make more sense.
Yeah, they do.
It's fine.
It's so much
Okay.
Okay. I think Road watches this and like again is holding the blaster like fully hand shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence?
you probably hear the creature react to being hurt,
Yeah.
but then you probably also hear a noise not unlike an angry possum. like guttural sort of
Whoa.
Yeah.
noise. And then I don't know how well you can see past the light cast.
Probably not that far.
So you probably don't see.
I'm just hearing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and I probably don't respond immediately.
How close am I to that? Like, as I'm trying to flag the
You
the
can-
Eskesians.
Yeah, you could. By this point, you've probably just about gotten them into the ship, or at least gotten in them, and kind of like they're one of them's running up the ramp and stuff. If they're not all the way in the ship,
Did I catch Lawrence run over?
might have it be hard to miss.
I just
Probably.
yelled at him.
Yeah.
Okay, all
And
right.
I'm at the bottom
I
of
mean,
the ramp. So.
All right.
Road is pointing a gun, yelling for
Yeah.
Lawrence in that direction, and there's like these horrible noises coming from that direction. They're probably just far enough from the light you can't quite see
Sure.
what's happening, but it's definitely again like that awful fight noises.
Okay, I'm going to tap on my my headpiece. My mask engages. It gives me a limited night vision, or at least like a general idea where things are, like be able to see in the dark a little bit. And through the communicator, through my mask, you hear, be careful with those trigger fingers of yours. And I, get into action pose and I start like running over.
Okay.
Like stretching out my gun, trying to see if I can spot where you are and, see if everything's okay. Am I able to do I see Lawrence like
you see
hurt?
a bit of a brawl happening actually
Okay.
between Lawrence and this other creature.
Okay.
And as you're approaching from the ship, you also see that there's like some more heading in. Like they've heard their packmate in distress
Okay.
and are heading that direction to help.
Shoot. Okay. I'm gonna take a bean on one of the approaching ones because I don't want to have to, I don't want to have you to
I appreciate that.
have you
I
tussle
do.
one more, and I'm gonna fire a shot. I'm gonna squeeze a shot over
Okay.
to this one creature.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
also-
another force is necessary?
Yes,
I also
but this
appreciate
is you
not
shooting this
shooting the
time.
one that
Yeah.
I'm brawling with. That's great.
Okay, here we go.
Um,
Actually, wait,
Yeah,
hold
you
on.
got a
And I
thing for
do
that.
have, I have hand-to-hand piloting and tactics. So
and you
not
don't have the audience.
Oh, hold on. No, I don't have save the
Oh,
audience.
okay.
Actually, I took regulation 34 the last
okay,
time.
that's fine.
So unfortunately, that's a different kind of shooting. But I did get hold on. This was plus body, right? This plus 0. I did get a 9.
Okay, great.
So 7 and 9, you succeed, but with a complication. Your opponent marks one condition and then select a cost off the list. You know what? I think I'm not firing an energy weapon. This is like a ballistic weapon.
Okay.
So with the bam bam, I've given my opponent a big advantage. They know where I am. It's very, very obvious where I am now.
Okay.
I'm standing like upright. I've got this thing aimed at the creature.
Cool. Yeah. So bam, you hit this one, and it also does like the similar. It's not like a yelp. It's like a if you hit like a really low like tuning fork almost.
Oh sure.
Boom. It's kind of like and it kind of like
That's
and then
cool.
it like stops. So it obviously has like control of it, but and it kind of like you see it kind of slide off and it like jumps into the river, and then. Yeah, there you in the court. Like you may probably don't see it, but we see it as the audience. We see the other one that was headed towards Lawrence has now turned and is now headed towards you.
Okay. All right.
The one that's kind of like behind you.
Let's see. There's one heading for Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where is that one in relation to me? Because Nolvath is still on top of the ship.
Yeah. So they're kind of in this triangle shape. So the ship is here. Lawrence is having its little brawl with one here. I pictured that Jonas had like been running that direction and stopped like about here. So the one that jumped into the river's here on this side. So it's like this triangle shape. So the one is coming in from the opposite side of the triangle.
side.
Okay.
We're now a rectangle.
Yeah.
It's like a little kite shape.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, a little cross.
Okay.
So you have like full vision of all this is happening, and you probably with your plant eyes.
Yeah.
What do you see with your plant? Like looking off, you could probably actually see the fight between Lawrence and this first creature.
Yeah, I mean, the Millard live underground,
Yeah.
so we have
Yeah.
to have good dark vision.
Super good.
Excellent
vision.
light vision.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a shot at that one that's coming after Lawrence.
Okay.
Wait, the one that's coming after
Or,
me?
sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one that's coming after
Jonas.
Jonas,
Sorry.
okay.
Let's see. I have to roll body, which sucks. But can I get a +1 for biology for observing where this thing's weak points are?
That's a little bit of a stretch. I will allow it.
Can't hurt to ask.
I specifically described them having like hairy coverage of vital
yeah.
organs.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
All right, that's a 9.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, you get to do 1 damage and then pick one off the list.
Let's see. I think I'm going to I think I'm gonna take a condition actually, because this is the first time I feel like they've had to defend their crew, and specifically Jonas is like the one that they are kind of the closest to.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're very scared that you're gonna get hurt.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I do see where the shots are coming from, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay.
Also, like, there's nothing else on this planet that's gonna shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, right. Yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay.
also your gun that I'm shooting.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Hilarious.
All right, excellent. So I hear the whiz of needles kind of like piercing through the air. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, all
You
right.
can safely assume any gunfire or laser weapons are your crew or friends.
Well, yeah, but sure, really it was more that Nolvath is camouflaged. And so I want to
got it.
know. I want to know if I can like sense at least where the shots are coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Oh,
So at least know where you are, like situationally.
Yeah. Definitely from the ship, which is either
Okay.
to your side or behind you, depending on which way you turn to face.
Okay, all right. And I turn, and then I see the creature that's over there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You hear it gives like that low thrum too.
Sure.
Probably like really dramatically, like as it's really close to you.
Sure.
And so it kind of jumps. Yeah, and it's
Okay.
damaged, and it kind of like jumps back a little bit. Yeah.
Does it look like it's gonna approach? Like it's gonna get up and like come after either me or Lawrence again?
It's taking a moment, but it's definitely still gonna jump at you. Probably, it's still got you like in the like predator look, like it's gonna, and then it's like kind of like shaking it off, and like it's gonna jump at you again.
Okay.
I think from the ramp, Lawrence, you hear, I thought you were an alpha predator. But specifically,
Oh!
specifically to say,
Oh my god.
use the move. Why you got the sword?
Amazing.
As a way of goading Lawrence into doing better.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't ready for that. That's good.
Amazing.
What does that move do?
Mightier than the sword, your words can soothe like a healing balm or cut like a laser knife. Once a scene, if you target someone with your words, PCs, they are encouraged and get advantage on their next roll, or they're cut to the quick and roll. Hold on. Or they're cut to the quick and roll disadvantage on their roll. The intent is advantage.
Yeah, this is to give you advantage.
Okay. I mean, it could go either way.
I know. I kind of like, I don't know. Whatever works for you.
You probably just hear like, "I'm working on it."
Faster!
All right, we're gonna have Lawrence. You're still kind of in this brawl with one.
Sure.
It gets a swipe off at you, so you're gonna mark another condition.
Okay.
And then the one that's kind of like facing off with you, it does this real quick like jump swipe thing and then it jumps back and it's gonna get you for 1 damage.
Okay. For a condition.
Yeah, 1.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna mark reckless.
Yeah.
And
That's a
as
good
you know, as I watch, like I look at the, it takes a swipe at me. I look at the camp. I see you standing over there. Big look in your eyes, or big, strong look in your face. I'll still see you like going after this thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I'm gonna turn to that creature and I'm gonna say, "Come on and kick me!" And I'm gonna whatchamacallit, I'm gonna fire off another couple of shots against it, just
Okay.
right in, as it's like staring me down. Just,
All right,
Squeeze
force
off.
necessary.
all right, let's see.
Those bodies.
Rotating through my dice have been like really working pretty well for me, so here's hoping. All right, +0. That's only 6. So it's a miss.
Mark experience. Good job.
You are shaken or injured. Mark 2 conditions. Oh god. Okay. And I get an experience point for that?
Yeah. Anytime
Okay.
you fail a roll, you
Yeah.
get experience it.
All right.
Okay, I did not realize that.
2 conditions. 2 conditions.
Terrifying.
So we're gonna say you call at it, and for a moment it looks like it's gonna it kind of like pulls back a little bit, and then it just like lunges at you, like it was actually pulling back to spring at you.
Oof.
And it like grabs you, and it just like, and it like takes a chunk and it bites your shoulder really hard.
Oh.
God.
And then it like kind of pulls back, and like it gets caught like on your flight suit or something. It seems very confused by that.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, and then it kind of pulls
That's
back
not
a little
fur.
bit. Yeah. Clothing? This is new.
Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, that's too close for my taste. I'm gonna mark afraid.
No, that's I'm explaining the two conditions
Oh, I see.
from your thing.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
So
I'm sorry.
that-
What were those
yeah,
again?
So that's just
Uh,
what happened. You get to mark any two conditions you want for forces necessary for your 6 roll.
Gotcha.
So I was just
gotcha.
describing narratively what happened.
Oh, sure. I gotcha. I
Okay.
gotcha.
So you don't have
Um,
2 more conditions on top of that. It's just the 2
Okay.
from your miss.
Well, let's see. I marked reckless for the initial hit. I'm gonna mark afraid, and I'm gonna mark angry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Time.
Then.
I think after you yelled, I think he probably left his communicator on when he talked back. So you just hear like this string of muttering, like, "I've killed things that you would like, you stupid, weird ferret thing. Just die." Like,
It's amazing.
oh my god!
Oh no.
Is this good or really bad?
Oh,
With advantage, I got a 3.
Oh my god!
Wow.
in other games
ones and a two.
parlance, this would be called sadvantage.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
So even at a 5, that's still not such a great time.
No,
Dreadful.
yeah, not
But I got
Wow.
experience.
good job. And yeah, like you're muttering, and like it like suddenly swings around, and also you get like chomped by it. And again, like this one also seems like, I don't know what your black suit is made of, but it's very confused kind of by the textural,
Yeah, yeah.
and it kind
It's-
of pulls at it.
I mean, like, it's very vinyl rubbery.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. It's like,
It's very, Harkonnen kind of texture.
Okay.
Yeah. David Lynch Harkonnen, though, right?
Yeah. The
yeah, so
good
it kind
one.
of bites into you, and then kind of like,
The one where you want to float
let's
around.
go,
Yeah.
let's go of you.
All right.
But yeah, that's 2 conditions.
Oof.
Man.
That's rough. Go Nolvath.
Says
save us.
road from the safety of the ship.
Don't worry, that's about to change. He's about to make some choices.
All right.
So the turrets are programmed to recognize us, right?
Mhm.
So if I like pick one up and move it,
You'd be fine.
Seems like it's your turn.
That's hilarious.
Just walking around holding the tripod. It's like,
invisible, holding the tripod,
That tripod can walk.
like it's levitating.
Perimeter defense poltergeist. Ooh, hey, actually, sounds like an awesome thing.
good idea.
You know what?
I mean, we have one.
right.
Let's see.
I feel that would probably be, I mean, it could be a force necessary because you are meaning to cause harm, but it could also, it's a little bit out there, so it could also be a prove your worth if you want.
Neither of those is better
No.
for me. I'm bad at both of those.
Unless you have a playbook move. You might have a playbook move that's like more helpful. I don't know. I've rewritten them so many times. They've all become mush in my brain. I don't remember any. of them.
I mostly have a playbook move to be invisible or if it tries to hurt me.
Ah, okay. So then I'd say it's forces necessary.
Nolvath.
Look, you can't get any worse than I did.
Oh my god,
Oh, you
Dave.
said it out loud.
Dave.
What did you do?
My villainy knows no
The
bounds.
dice gods can hear
I'm
you.
already rolling bad.
Do it.
No, see, when you get bad enough, you just have to keep going, go around the horn.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You eventually lap yourself.
Oh my god.
Let's go with a slightly higher stat. We're gonna give another try to making a horrible noise to scare it away.
Okay.
So manipulated being.
Okay.
But I think what I want to do is move my location. So so like the thing that is coming after Jonas Is that near the tent thing, the yurt, insta yurt?
No, those are kind of on the other side of the
Those are on
ship.
the other side.
So yeah, so anything over there, there's not any crewmates or anybody
Okay.
over there anymore.
Basically what I want to do is kind of like sneak to a location where it'll think it's flanked.
Mm.
So it's got you on one side and I make a horrible noise on the other side. So
Mhm.
it thinks it's in danger for both sides, maybe? Let's see if
Yeah.
that works. Be nice, dice. I don't want to get eaten today. Oh, hell yeah, that's an 11.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Thank God.
So yeah, and are you
Hey.
making the animal sound? Are you making yours from your planet or?
I'm making a different one from my planet.
Okay.
So this one is not an aquatic creature.
Okay.
It's something that drops down on you from the trees.
Oh.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
So it's like if you combined a horrible lizard dinosaur and an orangutan and made it want to eat you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're making that noise.
Okay, perfect. So yeah. So the one that you were specifically targeting the one near Jonas, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that one seems to be confused already because it's got like part of your like flight
Mhm,
suit
yeah,
or something,
yeah.
like, and it's like stuck in its teeth. And it's like, this is not flesh. I don't know what this is. This isn't fur. And then it hears like this horrific, terrifying noise. And it just kind of freezes for a second. Like the way like a dog does when it knows it's done something wrong. And you say its name really loud. It's like, and then it just like beelines straight for the water and jumps into the water.
Nice.
I have a terrible idea. I have a terrible idea.
Gotta love it.
Seeing that one disappear and whatever that horrible sound was, Road was ready to like shoot into the dark where these two were fighting. Best that he doesn't. And he's also very uncertain about shooting this gun. So instead he turns and drops the loading, the little like loading thing that we've established as like the cargo lift on the bottom. And is gonna take one of the big hover things, the hover carts that we've established that are in there, and it's just gonna throw one into the fray
Okay.
to act like a skateboard / banana peel / furniture dolly in the middle of all of this
Okay.
that they are more likely to trip on than the smaller folk that are running around this fight.
But
And
also recognize what it is.
that
Yeah,
also know what
yeah.
it is. So Rhoda is gonna just throw a bunch of those into the fight. We're gonna put roller skates on ferrets.
I love it.
All right. That's a prove your worth roll.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh
3.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow, the dice are angry.
Yeah.
Congratulations on XP.
Thanks. I think it's fitting that he fails at this. Sorry.
That's good.
You are injured or emotionally shaken. You put a crewmate in a bad position. Their next roll is with disadvantage. You damage or destroy something important. Mark 1 damage box on the ship.
No. That's for 7 and 9. For
Oh.
6 minus, I get to just do stuff.
Oh, I was saying, there's nothing written on here.
No, it's magic. I get whatever I want.
You know what? Do it. All right, let's go.
So you start sliding these things off into the darkness. They kind of like, you're aiming for where your crewmates are?
Yeah, where I think that the fray is happening and most likely to create a problem for these hunter creatures.
Okay. You start sliding these off into the darkness. Some of them are near them. Some of them aren't. Some of them you hear kind of like hover above water and then plunk down.
Sure, yeah. We have so many of
They're
them.
not really made for water. But the complication that's going to happen is the three passengers are gonna like come out down the ramp, and they're going to be like, "Wait, we need those," and also like, "Oh, we should help. We should help."
No.
And they,
No.
and in their like fancy gear, they're gonna start like heading out. And they do seem to have like some sort of like they've got these like small little dagger things that are kind of like crescent shaped.
Oh,
Cool.
Kinda like
They have
a sickle?
sickles?
Yeah, but smaller, like
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
more like
Like an actual harvesting sickle, not a
Yeah.
combat sickle.
like even smaller,
Like
like
the little-
almost
Oh,
like
okay, all right.
yeah, like
Curved knife.
yeah, like
Yeah.
curved knives. I thought usually those are like
They
bigger,
make
right?
small,
Oh,
like,
okay.
herbal harvesting sickles.
Oh, okay, yeah, like more like that, like so they're like 6 to 8 inches.
Okay.
Like, in their if they were fully circle like diameter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And they seem like fairly like surprisingly, you're the only one who's seen this so far. They're like, oh, okay, they sort of hold those like they know what they're doing.
Ron has no idea what that looks like, but
So they're all kind of going to spread out in the area.
Yeah, they started
Oh,
heading
great.
out into the fight too.
Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it.
yeah, and Rhoda is now exhausted, freaked out, and just having thrown, roller skates into a combat.
Yeah.
Do I see them running out?
If you look, yes, they're not like hiding.
Okay.
Like if you glance that direction, yes, you see them.
I'm gonna yell out, "God damn it, get back on the ship! We'll take care of this after we've driven these things off." So the one that was out that had taken a chunk off me is already
It dove
retreated.
back into the river.
The other one that I shot at that was approaching, that one's also retreated? Or is it
It's
still
in
kind of
the
like hovering
river.
in the area? Oh, it's in the river,
Uh-huh.
but I don't necessarily see it.
The one that was scared off is gone.
Yeah.
The other one is still in the river.
Okay.
Like, it's gonna be back.
Okay, all right. Well, I got to do something to help Lawrence here. I'm gonna take a look at my my flight suit. I'm gonna kind of like pull a tube out, and then I'm gonna aim it towards this thing since the pistol doesn't seem to be doing as much. I'm gonna I quickly adjust a couple of controls and I run over to where you are and I try to spray this thing with like a temperature regulant. Just to kind of like try to scare it off. Like it's like I'm gonna say that it's like it's not quite as cold as say liquid nitrogen, but it is cold. It's like a sudden change in temperature.
Spare with your
A
HVAC
fire
system.
extinguisher.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. But generally, it's like pumped through my suit to regulate my body temperature. So I'm gonna run.
That's awesome.
Is that a prove your worth?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
We'll go.
Rolling with courage. So I have
You
a
can
plus
do it.
2. That's 9. Okay,
Okay.
so decent.
Yeah.
Prove your worth. 7. You succeed, but with some difficulty, you are injured or emotionally shaken. Mark a condition. You put a crew in a bad position. Their next roll is with disadvantage. I'm not going to damage or destroy something important. Certainly not on the ship. Okay. Lawrence, I'm afraid this is going to put you in a bad position.
Yeah.
Sure. It's a big cloud of
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is sorry. I'm
No,
gonna
go
jump
ahead.
in.
Yeah,
okay,
please.
so this one has actually already been in the river, so it's still wet, all in its fur. So when you spray it with this cold, like Lawrence, you're like grappling with it, and what happens is like its fur in the places you spray it freezes, but your hand is in one of the
Oh
spots
no.
that freeze.
Oh no.
So one of your hands is now frozen in the fur of this creature. It
Great.
does seem like shocked and freaked out, so it actually like starts to run and take off.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'm going on a trip.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. I am super annoyed at this thing. I think I'm abandoning trying to fight it like a person,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try and fight it like an animal,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try and bite its throat out.
Okay.
Like I'm not, especially with one hand now stuck to
Sharp
it.
teeth.
I'm just like gonna swing underneath and try and, as it starts to run, try and, tear out its throat.
Yeah.
Gotta roll with disadvantage.
Here we go. 8, 9, 10.
Oh.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, I got 2 5s and a 3.
Oh,
Wow.
Plus 2.
All right.
Nice.
So 10 plus you succeed. Your opponent is shaken and injured and marks 2 conditions, and you are unharmed. So describe to me what this horrific act of you like ripping out this thing's throat with your teeth looks like for your crewmates who are watching.
Well, I think like it starts to run and I'm stuck to it. So like I just go with the momentum and I use that to kind of swing myself underneath it. And then you probably see like the whole lower jaw kind of opening wider than you've ever seen it. and then the teeth do the like goblin shark teeth thing,
Oh,
where they kind
wow.
of extend out past the front and then just dig in, and just a whole big chunk of neck comes off. And the thing is it dead, or is it still running?
I mean, yeah, it's dying
Okay,
very
okay.
quickly.
So like I think it probably misses a step as it's
Yeah.
running, and then stumbles and kind of drags into the dirt, and there's just blood and mud like all over me. And so like I look like just yeah. And like I probably come up next to it and I'm still all just Halloween mask shit. And like breathing heavy, like if anybody was any closer to me, I think you'd probably be more worried about like, is he gonna come after me next? But like it's definitely that look in his eyes. Like it's very much like like Lawrence is ready to kill something else.
Okay.
But no one's immediately right there, so he's not immediately going to try that. But
Real quick, how visible is this to everybody on the ship?
On the ship,
Yeah.
I
Or, like
mean-
in that area.
I feel like Nolvath can see everything about it.
Okay.
Road probably barely got an outline, and like that weird because it started tearing off.
Yeah.
You
He's
could
the
barely
alpha
see.
predator.
Yeah,
Something happened out there. It worked.
yeah, and then you're pretty close.
I'm pretty close.
You're right
I'm like
there.
running after them as it
Yeah,
peels
this
off.
literally has happened within like 6 to 10 feet of where you
Yeah.
sprayed it with your thing. So you got like the whole gory details. You probably got some like blood spatter.
Sure. Okay. All right. Like, so from the view of my helmet, you just see that splatter. I quickly wipe it off, and the first thing I see is you like
yeah,
looking the way you do, and I just kind of like stop. I screech to a halt.
like probably as you were moving, you probably see my like face swing right at you, like ready to move.
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
The Huskesians, do they see in the dark? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Pretty
Good.
fairly well. Now, actually, to everyone's probably surprise, the other one came out of the water, and they are good at fighting. Like they've kind of pulled out their full like tree climber strength of their arms, and it's sort of like it seems like they have like it's sort of like watching like gorillas like team up and fight something like.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. Like they don't have a lot of height to their leg, but when they like pull up, and then especially with these little like knife things they have that are in their hands, like the three of them together like have obviously had some sort of martial arts or combat or something training.
Random fighting.
Yeah, like whatever. They probably never actually had to use it to like actually defend themselves before. But they like are slicing away at this third one, and they just make short work of it, and it like flumps over.
Oh wow. Okay.
And they're kind of like covered in like these creatures have like a greenish blood. It's not like red. So they're kind of like covered in it a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh my. Well, I'm hungry."
Ro just sits on the loading dock.
Nolvath is like, looks like they're gonna be fine.
Okay. I don't think I saw any of that, of them taking out that third one.
Probably not.
I approach carefully. I put my I put my hands out, I holster my pistol, and I approach you like carefully and cautiously, like I'm trying to de-escalate. I say, Lawrence, are you gonna be okay?
And then like the gravelly voice is even harder to understand. And he's probably like, I'll be fine. Just need a minute. And like you see him and he kind of looks back at the dead thing and he's like, and makes a move like, just go back to the ship.
Okay. I'll back away for like a meter, and then I'll turn around and walk back to the ship and assess the situation.
And
they
you
know?
probably hear like horrible eating noises.
Oh, okay, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Okay. And since that gore's still in my helmet, I'll like quickly again like wipe it off and then open the helmet up. And let the night air kind of wash over my face. Whew. and I'll look around. Are you still camouflaged at this point? Or like, are you a little more visible now?
Did they, the Hiskesians, did they just leave that thing?
No, they're like they pulled out one of their little like tablet things, and they're watching a video, and they're like slicing it up. They're trying to like
You found a YouTube video on how to
Yeah,
prepare this thing?
not on this specific animal, but like
Sure.
on how to.
Similar
Yeah,
creature.
they
Yeah.
realize that they are going to have to make a to live. So they obviously
Amazing.
saved some videos about how to clean a carcass on things. So they're slowly trying to like pull off the fur and like.
Okay.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, I mean they're not doing a super great job of it, but they're doing it.
They're doing it.
Okay. I mean, if that's the case, I probably still don't see you.
I think they would uncamouflage at this point because it seems like the dangers are gone.
Yeah.
I don't want to freak out our weirdly good at fighting guests.
Okay.
But I do want to, if they'll let me, if there's like a part they're not gonna use, I do want to just like kind of drag it around the perimeter as like a deterrent to the other ones to just like leave the scent of its blood like in a big circle kind of around the camp.
Yeah.
Just say, don't come in here.
Yeah, they
You
definitely give you a part for that, and they think that's a great idea, and they make a note of it to do that in the future.
Okay.
They're learning.
If they will give me the head, I will keep it.
They don't want to eat that.
Great.
Yeah, that's fair.
That skull seems like it might be the same good size for like a hermit crab.
Yeah, a crab.
Somewhere.
Yep, yep,
To grow into.
yep. I see
And I
you.
did promise to bring Tavrock a present.
Amazing.
You know what? Like initially, I wasn't sure where you were, and when I finally see you, I kind of like run over. I kind of put my hands on your shoulders, and then I realized that I put my hands on your shoulders, like pull back, and I'm like, oh, all right, you're okay. I wasn't sure exactly where you were. You doing all right? You heard? Did any of these things come after you?
No, we are fine. We were very concerned that one would eat you, though.
As the adrenaline starts to kind of like boil down or simmer down, the pain of my wound, of my shoulder wound being eaten, starts to sink in, and I'm like, I wince. I put my hand on my shoulder. I feel that there's like blood trickling out of there. I think one of them came mighty close, and I'll just pass out onto the dirt.
All right, I think that's a great place to end for tonight. Did anyone else have anything they really wanted to get in real quick?
I mean, it's so little, but Rode angrily gets up, grabs an entire bottle of alcohol, and then storms into the shuttle.
Amazing.
Amazing. Very good.
Ooh.
All right, very good. All right, so first combat, or first like, hand-to-hand / laser weapons combat.
Personal directives.
Yes, personal directives.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna remember. So personal directives. Did anyone need their personal directives?
I did.
What was your personal directive?
Ask about what it means to be ruthless to Lord.
Ooh.
Very nice. All right, so you get to pick one of the things there. You can clear a condition, you mark XP, or earn 1 trust.
Take that XP.
All right. So did anyone else meet their personal directive?
Not this time.
I did not.
All right.
Nope.
Well, you can save them and use them again next time, or if it doesn't seem appropriate, you can also change and make a new one now for next time. Awesome. Great. Well, that was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's do the ending. Thank you for joining us for Session 5 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. I'd like to thank our mods for all their hard work. And thank you to our amazing patrons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we're able to play games that we enjoy without worrying about publishing companies or system popularity. You can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. Let's start with Jay this time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jay. I played a now unconscious Jonas. We'll see if he pulls through or in what shape he's in when he wakes up next time around. But you can catch me online at Transplant Asian in Instagram, at JAfrica everywhere else. If you're in Los Angeles and you're interested in playing a game of Fate, I will be running one of a few tables of Fate at the LA Public Library Central Branch in downtown LA this Saturday from 10:30 to noon for the Octavia E. Butler for the Parables convening event that they're hosting.
Cool.
To commemorate the fact that the Parable of the Sower actually starts in 2024. And it's this dystopian, blasted Los Angeles wasteland. And I don't know if we're that far off, honestly.
No, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. All right, Kai.
Speaking of Los Angeles wastelands, hi everybody, I'm Kai. You can find me all over the internet as the style of Imladris. And gosh, I have a lot of stuff going on this week. First of all, I'm happy to announce, I guess, that I was nominated for 2 Crit Awards. So one of them is for doing what we're doing here, which is Best Indie Player. So voting is now open. You can go to my socials or look up Crit Awards on pretty much all social media. And there's a lot of incredible independent actual play performers, game creators, and production people out there that you can check out. It's also just a great list of people to check out. So yeah, that's one thing going on this week. And then on Sunday, you can find me. I'm doing this in the wrong order. On Friday.
Today's Monday.
Yeah, today's Monday. I know how days work. On Friday, I'm so excited. So Transplanar RPG, my other one of my main campaigns that I'm in, we're on hiatus, but we did record a bunch of backstory episodes as a bonus for a charity stream we did. So my backstory episode is airing on Friday. I'm very excited. It's super fun and cute, and cowboys in space that are all flirting with each other. So that's on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday morning, you can find me being a very silly goose, and I mean goose quite literally, in Honk Heist. It is the 1-year anniversary. It is the 4-year anniversary of Transplanar RPG, and it is about to be the 1-year anniversary of the CADave Protocol, which is my campaign that I'm in on that show. And we're playing a hack of Honey Heist where we're all geese. On Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and then on Sunday evening, I then go back to the LA Wasteland in Angels and Atoms, which is a Fallout, the 2D20 Modifius system, where I play a Mr. Handy who thinks that he is James Bond. And that's plenty for me. Sam?
Hello, everybody. I'm Sam. I've been Nolvath, your friendly neighborhood ventriloquist for this episode. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials. You can find me here on Mondays doing this generally. And then the only other thing I have to promote is the book of my dear friend Wink. That's definitely not me with a pen name. Sylvie Hellstaff, friend of the show. If you like monsters and you're over the age of 18 and you want to read about romancing them, might I recommend her book Shadows Light. It's available on Amazon ebook and paperback. There's going to be a hardcover edition with illustrations coming soon. And there is a sequel on the way that just went into editing.
Wow.
Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Good job, Sylvie.
Hi, everybody. I'm CADave. Lawrence might not be hungry for a while. But we'll find out next time. He's going to have like the little paunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence eats like a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But you can find me here again on Monday. Tomorrow.
It's
No,
Tuesday.
tomorrow's great. My brain clogged up for a second. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, you can find me on my own Twitch channel at CA Sith Lord, where you can find me on most of the social media, playing more Dave the Diver, because I have to get to the Godzilla fight.
Yeah.
That's the goal now.
What does this game have?
Right. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be back here next Monday.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
And I'm Kimi. You can find me at Golden Lasso Girl or at Golden Lasso Games, and at Happy Jack RPG on every social, basically. I have a Kickstarter coming for this game. So if you go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter, right now we're just building up the follower count for our launch, which is going to be July 9th is our official launch date now. It's very exciting. We will have the beautiful layout version of this game done on July 1st. So that'll be the quick starts, not the full game, because if we just gave away the full game, then why would you back the Kickstarter? But the quick start of the game will be done by then, with a shortened version of the rules, most of the playbooks, not all of them, a couple of different things like that. So you'll be able to get that for free everywhere. And yeah, it's very exciting. If you want to see me again, I will be back for the advice show this Sunday. We'll be back for the advice show on June 23rd. And it will be the first session, or the first episode of season 34. Season 34.
Wow.
New
Episode
playlist
1.
time.
Yeah, I know. I have to get all this stuff
Exciting
together.
time.
Amazing. So yeah. All right. Join us next time, next Monday at 7-ish p.m. Pacific time for our next session. If you want to catch up on past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/Starscape. And if you want to find all the other APs on the Happy Jacks network, there's many, many of them. Go to happyjacks.org. Thank you all so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.